I
Right,
look,
we lost David. We lost David there.
the stream went down as soon as you talked about giant bear dick, but it's back up now.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, good. So none of that was heard.
Twitch is just monitoring everyone talking about Beargate. Is like, no, enough of that shit. My fucking God. Ooh, this is
and Jason, I just want to point out, if you don't want to call it Beargate, you can always call it Baldur's Bear.
Perfect. It's like Build-A-Bear, but
we love alliteration.
You think they went bareback?
Oh,
Hey.
So
Be safe out there. Be safe out there, folks. Only bareback if you're taking your prep and stuff.
oh boy.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my God. All right. None of this is official stance of
Educational D&D.
what consists bestiality or isn't.
You should.
I will give them this. So a couple things that I wanted to say before we get going today is Larian has, as far as I can tell, knocked it out of the park with Baldur's Gate 3. I am so excited to see what they have. If anything, I'll probably still be left wanting more by the time it's at the end. What I will say as a GM is I really hope that they're going to still include some kind of a sandbox mode for GMs to run things through there. But here's my prognosis. Here's the one thing that I'm worried about is that because D&D Beyond's VTT is coming out and it's 3D, they're going to tell Larian they cannot have a GM mode for Baldur's Gate 3. And that is the one thing that I would be kind of annoyed about if it were to happen. Also, there's something going on with the 3 days early access for PC versus PS5. They're going to announce some stuff I've seen. I don't know. Jason, again to you. That's the last thing we'll say. And then let's veer hard away from bear sex.
Yeah.
You can still access it 3 days early. It's just the first act.
Is that
yeah.
Oh, just the first act can access. I mean, if you don't want to fuck around, it can take you 3 days.
There are a lot of people who are like really confused about it on Reddit still, but Larian's gonna put out an official statement in like the next community update. So probably this week or early next week.
So does that mean, so that would be my question, that I can still start 3 days early and everything that I do during those 3 days with that updated thing is going to carry over in Act 2?
Yes.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. But a lot of people are still confused.
You can send us $100,000 for marketing later.
I was about to say, Larian, if you want to sponsor us, we'll talk about Beargate all day.
Only Beargate.
All day.
The Dark Urge character that you can play, which is just Murder Hobo, made justified. There's a lot that's going to go into Baldur's Gate. And I'm excited to announce that we will be doing a live play of this. This is going to be super excited, so stay tuned. We'll give you guys more details here in the coming weeks, but we're going to see some familiar faces playing this through Polyhedra, and it'll be fun. Are we going to stay away from Beargate? I don't fucking know.
No, we're gonna fuck the bear. We're gonna fuck the bear.
I don't fucking know. No.
We're gonna fuck the bear.
Actually, the plan will be to have all original characters. So it'll be 4 characters played by us, and we're going to role play as we play the game. Anyways, that is something that we'll talk more about in the end. With that, welcome back everyone for another week of Light of Thylea. Now, previously, the group has traveled via their supernatural ship, the Ultras, to a spot of significance within the Cerulean Sea. The spot is significant because it holds, deep underneath the waves, the Sunken Kingdom. The sunken city of the Sirens that had been sunk because Sidon get super jelly and sunk the city as they were trying to challenge his and Lutheria's. Last week, the group found themselves under the ocean, sinking deeper, dark, crushing abyss. But of course, preparations were made. The characters arrived at the bottom to find merfolk under attack by weird, also fish-like creatures, but much more vicious, larger, ones to strike through them. Quickly made a choice to side with the merfolk, and we find ourselves in the moments after this combat. The reason that you're all here, of course, it's because you are seeking the Promethean Fire. A legendary artifact supposedly has the power to heal God, challenge divinity. It's Argentius trying to figure out, destroy a god. Whatever the truth may be, we'll have to find out deep Sunken Kingdom. With that, players, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you guys would like to mention before we delve back in? There's one more thing, but also the chat of these players is wild, y'all. Absolutely fucking wild. I need a moderator in here. Jason.
I'll do my best.
The moderator can't moderate themselves.
I know.
Tyler?
I'm contributing.
To be fair to Jason, I instigated it.
Tyler. Need them both. All right, with that, is there anything else that I forgot to mention?
Oh, we can only talk in our brains.
That's right. Oh, but didn't we find out? Didn't we actually, to clarify, didn't we find something out last week about our rings?
Yeah,
They're
you
good
use it
for-
to send message.
Oh, right.
good for
Oh,
out of
that from
combat.
message.
But
Gotcha.
in combat,
But there was a
they
point
can
where when
actually-
we talked to the fish people, they understood us. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah.
So as you can breathe underwater, the water that you push through your lungs or through your vocal cords still carries the message. It is probably not going to carry as far as it does in clear air, but that's about it.
Yeah.
As far as
got it. But if you want to talk in our brains, we can talk in our brains.
Yep.
Aside from that, the one thing that I did want to mention is you get to meet. It seems to be the leader of this band of merfolk. Not only do they have what appears to be an apparatus on their arm, really a prosthetic limb of sorts that ends in a massive metallic spike on their left arm, but in a little bag on their side is a tiny little crustaceous creature, whom, of course, can you guys remind me, what did we name them last week?
Oh, God.
Crabinos.
Crabinos has entered into chat. Thank you again, chat,
He's not-
for naming Crabinos last week. After the combat,
We care about.
the water itself is like a thick fog. Seawater. The innards are slowly careening around you. It's that massive, weird, monstrous looking creatures of these merfolk have sunk to them. You see that the merfolk are pulling out what looks like elf versions of bandages and starting to wrap themselves, but still are kind of considering you as the leader of this group. Comes closer. See that he does have a helmet upon his very fin-like ears and white hair that cascades down. There's almost like an inner glow to his eyes as he starts to swim towards you. His fin that is kind of like this mauve reddish color that seems to match almost Crabinos shell, which of course you. As he kind of swims towards you, has his harpoon spear not angled towards you, but you can tell that he is kind of crossing it almost in front of him. The shield at the side considers you. He says, "My name is Ornaros, and you're Topsider."
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm collectively we're called the Light of Thylea. I'm Yanni. That's Brissa and Argenti and Lyra and Daphne and Estrella.
Well met to all of you. I know we mentioned it. Forgive my memory, but are you with the group that had showed up earlier?
Oh, no.
No,
Right.
no.
No. We're like completely opposite that group. Not that group. Against that group, actually, really.
Racing them, yeah.
Estrella, you can notice as they're all talking, your passive insight picks up very much talking. Looking at significant symbols upon you. Now, Estrella, you are still wearing the circlet. And at the end of it, he stops. Just kind of stops and stares at the circlet. Say you are carry the same symbols as them.
Oh, about that.
Do you know what a spy is?
But she's like related to them, but not with them.
Right.
It-
You have family, yes? Have you ever had
He almost protectively
an
puts the
uncle?
shield around the crab and is just like,
No.
my family died.
Oh,
Simply.
Oh,
oh.
That's
I don't know what you mean. It's
Right.
people your family. It's okay.
it's perhaps I'm related to like a lot of people, but it depends on who was here. You know, I'm not related to Gaius. If he was here, you know, no, not Gaius. No.
Remember that. He was the leader.
Not yet.
Mm.
He said that they
Related
were
to him.
here on a mission for the one true god of Thylea. Sidon?
All right, I will try to sum up. Sidon is my grandfather, right? I am rose-colored glasses, yeah, and I thought maybe he would be good, but he was evil, so that was bad. And maybe somebody else should explain.
I mean, that's pretty much the big point. Sidon's her grandfather, but I mean, really, we don't get to pick our family, so that's not her fault. So we're not holding it against her.
Lyra, it's really nice to hear you say that. Really.
But but he's also a bad guy, and so like we're like the opposing force of his group.
But we pretended to be part of his group for a little while, just so that we could be in good favor and everything, and that's why she has the crown, right?
Subterfuge.
Yeah.
Right, and it also gives me power, so I don't want to
Totally.
get rid of it. But I will take that part away because that is no longer,
What is the Sidon god of? It is something that Gaius wouldn't answer. It seems that he set off everything. This is possible.
I mean, specifically, I think it's like storms and the ocean.
Or at least the top of it, since you guys don't know anything about him. I'm guessing he doesn't hold much sway down here.
That's fair.
Doesn't know.
I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting, but mainly that.
Destruction.
I thought he
Oh,
was
that one. That's the
Really?
one. That's the one.
So the thing is,
Yeah.
it's really important that we get to where Gaius was going before he gets there. Do you know where he was going?
Make me an active perception check, Estrella. And call it out
21.
for chat. What'd you get?
21.
All right. You can tell that though he tries to kind of cast his eyes out, he kind of looks back over the city, past it. It seems to be something to do with the city, and it's hard to precisely tell where, but it seems to kind of try to keep it under wraps. He goes, I don't believe this to be something that I am at liberty to say. Better speak with King Pontus.
Yeah, sure, yeah. If you want to take us to him, yeah.
Yeah, we can ask for his favor and go.
This would be very wise, yes.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Pontus.
Pontus. King Pontus. Got it.
P-O-N-T-S.
And also, what's your crab's name?
Skrabinos. My daughter named him.
Is he like your familiar?
Yes, you could say that. He's the family. Appears that my companions have bandaged their wounds. We better get going. As he starts to swim away, the rest of the merfolk kind of start to fan out And you can tell simultaneously they keep a lookout on the outsides of it, trying to like keep the caravan of you guys traveling safe. As they're also moving you guys, corralling you a little bit, like trying to keep an eye out on you. As you guys keep swimming, you see magnificent spires as before. But as you get closer, you can now see that when the city sunk, it fractured in multiple places. It must have been a solid stone foundation or something. It must have held it up. Maybe it was built on the equivalent of a massive mountain. That entire thing just crashed down. You can see where the city cracked when it hit the ocean floor itself and created these massive ravines in the floor, splitting it almost into sections. As you get closer, you can see familiar stonework. You can recognize the spires, the art, the iconography. You look about, you can imagine how magnificent these creations must have been, towering massively. As you look across, you can also appreciate and see the beauty with which all of these were built overall. You can tell that the Mer people must have added a lot, because where there are cracks, where there are huge holes within the buildings themselves, they have come in and filled it in. Not only did they use some of the stone from the surrounding, I don't know if you can call it a countryside, but the sea floor, but then also nurtured over generations coral reefs. See veritable rainbow of it's just stretching, living, breathing throughout the city. A corpse that had a new form of beauty grown upon it, in it. And you can see, first as you approach the outer rims, there seem to be humanoids. They have legs much like you do, but you can see that they have gills as well. They have what look like fins, and they're riding upon the backs of giant seahorses. As they come towards you, you can see as your guide waves them over, speaks something in hushed voices. They nod towards him and consider you and start to swim up. The guards will let the king know that we are approaching. How should I introduce you? Opponents to Sidon.
Can we just go with Light of Thylea?
Yeah.
Friends of you guys? Or
This is the Sunken King.
we want to be friends of the Sunken Kingdom?
Yeah.
Because we do.
Oh, the merfolk kind of stop. And there's just a little bit of a tense, weird moment. It's like, do we want to be friends with these people?
Yes.
Larry, you're supposed to do the talking. You're better at that.
I don't know what to say.
You could say we're envoys from the kingdom of Mitros.
Oh, yeah, I should have thought of that.
Envoys. Stood. Very well done. He swims through, and you can see that within the buildings, you see some buildings that probably were used for academic purposes, Yanitsi Swimbo. Things that clearly in the past have been places of study or a barracks, etc. And they have been sometimes repurposed and the use that they probably had thousands of years ago. Yet others, schools for mermaids and more of these fish humanoids, which of course you guys know are a different form of nymph, or as they're better known. Interestingly enough, also traveling between this, like the underwater Ahora, so to speak, are a third group of where the merfolk have that lower half of a fish. The Nereids are very much like humanoids. There's a third type. These ones seem to be, it's hard to describe it. It's scales that cover their entire skins. You can see their eyes are just a little bit too bright, their fins a little bit too large as they swim around. Some of them are large sized, other ones much smaller. If you're proficient in it, either give me a religion, arcana, or history check.
I'm proficient in all three. Do you have a preference?
For your preferences. I'm guessing whatever your highest modifier is.
Ooh,
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Natural.
I rolled garbage,
All
I got
right.
a
but I have a plus
15.
15.
The highest roll comes from Brissa. Now, Brissa, you, before you became the ripped queen of Mitros, you were quite the nerd up on the mountainside of the northern mountains around itself. And you remember reading up on anything that you could get your hands on. You remember reading on these creatures. They are fae. And unlike the nymphs, which are much closer to humanoids, these oceanids are curious. They're shapeshifters who can take on many different myriad forms, whether it is a human to nymph to even a sea creature. They're incredibly curious and are just as sentient and maybe even a little bit more powerful.
She'll just like point it out to Scylla and be like, "Oh, Scylla, look!" And
Scylla is kind of like swimming through, considering everything, but definitely just kind of keeping close to you. Scylla has been just kind of clocking the guards upon each side of you guys, just trying to keep you as safe as possible. Estrella, go ahead and give me an insight check or deception check here. Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
Oh, give me
That is my jam.
What'd you get?
Shockingly. 29.
29. All right. So as you're going through, Estrella, you've had a hard run with people, right? And so especially over the last years, you started to read people to try to almost preempt the way that they would act and react towards you. And so there's something that you read. It seems interesting, but there seems to be a little bit of a segregation of. It seems that the Oceanids, as they kind of swim by, the merfolk are keeping their distance, even the Nereid. The Nereid and merfolk are mingling here and there, but it's not quite as much of a metropolitan, everybody mixes and mingles as you had seen and gotten used to in Mitros. This seems to be a little bit weird, a little bit different. The Oceanids are definitely separate. After some time, you finally arrive at what is and was a palace. Beautiful frescoes, marble statues surrounding it. You can see that there are dozens more of these riders surrounding it, and actually in multiple layers swimming around and keeping a safe perimeter of this palace. As you get closer, you see that merfolk with beautiful kind of mother of pearl encrusted armor approach you and kind of consider you as, your guide once again introduces you in your wake. Lyra, as you look around, there's something curious. There are statues of sirens. However, it appears that their wings were broken off. And any aspect, typically on their bodies, that would have given them away as sirens has been knocked off. You can also notice that some of them never have been removed. They were just kind of broken, but it seems like there are pieces missing where the legs should be, where the wings should be. Those pieces of stone are no longer there, even though sometimes the busts and the actual torso of the statues are. Give me an insight check, Lyra.
13.
With a 13, Lyra. There is something here. These people live in the carcass of the polis that belonged to you. Arguably the greatest cities ever built on Thylean anything. And as you consider it, it is odd that they would break this down. It is almost like there is a distaste, a dislike of that. But as you try to reconcile that versus yourself, nobody's giving you, everybody's giving you weird looks. They're little merfolk children that are like, kind of like peeking out behind, buildings and the like. You can see everybody's kind of like in hushed tones talking, but you guys are the second group that has now arrived. So a lot of the conversations that you guys overhear are more like, what are they doing? It's another group. Are we under assault? And a lot of people are starting to look towards the surface. But it's weird. It's almost like somebody wanted to erase history. It makes your gut churn a bit, but to what extent and for what reason, you can't quite put two and two together. Finally, you guys are led through the massive, beautiful marbled halls. Again, you see frescoes that depict the surface world. but it seems like there are hundreds of broken and shattered spots. And Tyler, Lyra can notice. She looks about. This end depiction, Siren has just shattered and cracked. Finally, you're brought into a long hall. It seems to be a place that in and of itself is created to hold quite a few people. You can see that there are a multitude of different seats that kind of sides. You can see beautiful marbled pillars kind of running. See that corals have been kind of growing in the places in between. And at the end of it, you can see upon a beautiful marbled throne, a man that holds a trident at his side. There are little bits of what look almost like naturally woven netting that kind of adorn both of his shoulders. Bornaro swims forward and kind of bows before his king. My king.
Hello. Sorry.
Outsiders have arrived again. They say that they are the light of Thylea and they work against the other surfacers. The man has a deep, almost like a purplish skin to him. See that very neatly trimmed black beard across his chin, and there's a little bit of shell that kind of is tied into the back into a bun, but the rest of the hair kind of just like it's about a light leather armor, very much more as like a decorative tool to him than anything it's done. But see, kind of like turns over the trident, you can see that it definitely has a beautiful. It's like it's woven out of two different metals. There's gold, it's adamantine coated in each side, and there are some runes upon it that don't make a whole lot of sense to you. As you guys approach, how? With the sunken key.
I just want to reiterate after this whole lore dump of everyone hates sirens apparently, that currently I am in my little aquatic adaptation alter self. So even though I don't think I got rid of my wing, the rest of my body is like fish people. So I don't know if they would immediately clock that I'm a siren.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
This is definitely part of Estrella's trauma, but I definitely thought you were going to say Lyra started to realize how hard it was to be Estrella when everybody hated her lineage. That's where I thought you were going. It's fine that you didn't go there. No, it's fine that you didn't go there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get there.
There's too much trauma to juggle around here. It starts to overlap after a while.
Honestly, Estrella's family life didn't really cross my mind at all in that whole entire.
Okay.
Oh,
Fine.
no.
How do you bow underwater? I think I'm gonna do a flip if I try.
Just curtsy. I don't know.
Yeah, Bristol. We'll try a bow. Yeah, just like the.
You know what? You know what? Go ahead, everyone. Give me an acrobatics check with disadvantage. You guys are not used to this, and except Lyra. You know what, Lyra? You get advantage.
Hell yeah. Cool.
Oh.
I did the worst.
With advantage, you did the worst.
Ezra, give me one more. Oh my god, natural 1, natural 2 for Lyra. Woo. By and large, all of you guys that do a very passable job, except for Lyra. As you guys are kind of like just, it's most like, you guys watched Bornaros do it. He kind of like just like half folded over and then kind of started floating a little bit more up, and most of you guys kind of copy that over, except Lyra. You get so excited, you're like starting to water hyperventilate as you're like, oh, he's so hot, and then you kind of like start spinning, and everybody's just like, oh, Bornaros extra kind of like.
Wait, I rolled a natural 20. Can I like use thaumaturgy to make Lyra look really cool? Like her hair like float up cool, and like the water like sprays out around her. You kind of like the Little Mermaid when she jumps on the rock.
You can certainly do that. You had disadvantage, that's why I made you roll again, and you rolled really well on the first one as well with a 19. But yeah, you kind of do that in the end as like the hair's kind of like in her face. You kind of use that thaumaturgy as poof, the hair kind of flicks back, and you look fine after as Bornaros kind of helps you stab. swim back straight.
All on purpose.
There's a little chuckle that you can see from Pontus, though it seems that overall his face is very stern. There's definitely a little bit of concern when he first swam in, and if anything, that little faux pas in court appearance has cracked his demeanor a little bit. He seems to, if anything, be amused, charmed by the a little tumbly tumble. So, the light of Thylea. We've heard of this place before. It is what you call the dry land.
Yeah.
Yes.
We call the dry land, yeah, Thylea, yes.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of what we call the whole world.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, we do not call this Thylea. So, your estimation of what the whole world is be a bit incorrect.
That's fair. We didn't know y'all were down here until we got here. So, yeah.
That is fine.
Well,
Lots of
I mean, we knew a city was down here somewhere.
We knew the ruins of a city was down here somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's give the name to our kingdom. Welcome. I have many questions for you. Questions that your adversary, Gaius, was unwilling to answer. So perhaps you will take the time to. Would you be alright with this?
I think, who would I think in Brissa's head, I'll just be like, do we tell the truth? Should we tell him why we're here? Like, for real?
We should tell him. Yes, we will. We will tell you the truth. And answer your questions.
As
If we have the
says,
answer.
That one is Brissa. Brissa, where do you hail from? I know it is Thylea, but you have more of these cities on the dry land.
We do. I am the queen of Mitros, and she'll just like point to her crown that she's wearing.
And you could see the reaction on Pontus. He kind of like lifts up, and his posture becomes a little bit more straight, a little bit more regal as you say that.
I'll do another like water splash moment behind Brissa.
I glare at Estrella. What are you doing?
It's not as good as Lyra's. Not as good as Lyra's.
This
She already found the king, let me have mine!
It is good to know that civility is something that is practiced on the drylands. We have many myths, theories, what happens on the lands without water. But that is good to know. This Mitros that you speak of, is it as magnificent as the sunken kingdom?
It is splendorous as well, but your city is equally as beautiful.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh boy, okay. I can do that one. Yeah, persuasion. 18.
And there's a warm smile that starts to kind of spread across his face. It's good to hear. There has been a historical conundrum that I have wanted to solve. Gaius and his giant, as well as the others that traveled with him, are unwilling to answer this. My people in here moved into this abandoned ruin many generations ago. And we took it for our own. We know that it comes from the dry lands, by way of its construction, by way of how it has held for so long. But we never knew how it came to. Could you elucidate? What was the name
Yes,
of the city?
I think Lyra is going to be able to speak to that more fluently than I can. She'll like hold her arm around Thylea.
Well, it used to be a dry land city. It for the sirens. It was their main city.
What
We don't really know the name.
Is that what you are? And by the way, your spell disappeared. So as you're talking, suddenly your gills disappear. Everything else just turns into the actual siren form that you are. As you, he kind of looks. He looks surprised that you suddenly change, and then looks over to Bornaris, who just kind of shrugs at his king. Pontus looks back towards you. Are you all right?
Well, we don't have time for that. That's a loaded question.
It was magic. It's fine.
Thank you. What does
But yeah, technically, Siren City has been sunken for so long that I don't know the name. Haven't figured that part out yet. Technically sank by Sidon, the one who is the leader of the other people that are here that we're against.
And
Also Estrella's grandfather.
the city. Your grandfather? You are granddaughter to God.
Titan. Technically, it's not important, really. Yes,
the Titans
I have
and
a.
gods differ. We have 8 gods, Sunken Kingdom. Hardly seems to me. One Titan could hold more power than 8 gods.
Certainly not. He sucks. Who are your 8 gods?
Kind of looks over towards Bernaros. We will get to that. It was a question that Gaius was very keen on. It's
Oh,
something
I'm sure he
that
was.
we are loath to give away. You said that you would speak the truth, Queen Brissa. Are you intending on trying to reclaim your city?
No, there was an artifact, and that is why the city was sunk. And so we intend to retrieve the artifact before Gaius can, because they intend to use it to cause more harm on the surface world. And they've already caused great enough harm, as as we are all well aware of, and so we want to, get ahead of them, so to speak, and stop that, from claiming the artifact.
I see. This artifact that you speak of. What is it?
I mean, we call it the Promethean Fire, but yeah, to be honest, we don't really know what it looks like. I mean, it could just, it could be a flame, it could just be a ball. Like we don't really, none of us have ever really.
Yeah, that's true. We really don't know if it's actually fire. It could just be a metaphor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see.
We really hope it's small, like transportable, right? Because if it's really big, then it's going to be really awkward. But
In whatever form it takes, it definitely is a divine spark of some kind.
What is
At least
that?
according to the legends.
Divine spark.
Like the essence of godhood.
A god?
According to the legends, it can be used to create new gods.
and that is why Sidon wants to destroy it or claim it, so that no one can challenge his power. Because right now he is the only god on the dry land. And so
Just
And we
Just
don't like
out of-
that.
out of curiosity, did you tell this Gaius fellow? Did you tell him that you also have your own pantheon of gods?
Of course. They are the 8 true gods. The gods of the Sunken Kingdom. Keep us safe, protected. They seem to laugh at the notion So far, you do not seem to share the same religion. I can see surprise upon all of your faces. Did you not know of the 8 gods?
We didn't know of the Sunken Kingdom, much less the 8
course not.
gods.
I see.
And I apologize for being so forward, but I think that through Gaius, Sidon will also know of your pantheon and probably do what he can to also eliminate yours. So that puts you in
He is
danger
the-
as well.
A vengeful, jealous god.
Yeah.
He will
Which is
not
why-
tolerate competition.
Trying to get there first.
I'm thankful to you for this war. I must share the forthrightness that you have shared with me. I am unsure whether to trust you. My reasoning is that not only are you related, carry the symbol of this vengeful god, but I do not know whether you are simply a second group sent by the Sidon to check up on the first. I assure you that we have found a way to deal with your first group. If that is the case, we'll find a way to deal with you as well if it's necessary. I hope it does not come to this. I hope that your words carry truth to them. If they do not, you will be loath and regret your words with that decision.
Do you have, like, priests that can detect lies? Because you can have them question us.
There's a look between Bornaros and Pontos. What do you mean?
Magic to detect lies?
Magic is a thing of the Oceanids. Is that what you practice? Magic of the Fae?
Sorta. I practice one kind of magic. Actually, I think all of us practice some form of magic or another, right?
As he
Looking-
says
yeah,
that,
we all have some sort of magic.
Yeah, I mean, none of our magics are really from the same source.
Yeah. Yanni, make me a religion check as he says that. There's something interesting with this.
That'd be a 20. Dirty 20, as they like to say.
With a dirty 20, your mind immediately kind of jumps a couple steps ahead. It's like, this is absurd. Obviously, anyone that worships a god gets their powers. Estrella is a high priestess, therefore she could, move mountains with that stuff. And they seem to be surprised by that concept. They have 8 gods here, and not a single priest that can cast magic. They have to, the Oceanids can do that, but there's something up here. You seem to hypothesize very quickly with your sharp minds that there is something here. These gods might not be able to, or might simply not want to give their priests and priestesses favors in the forms of magic, in the forms of spells. And you kind of file that away, at the very least. No.
Sorry, I get on the dry land. Gods tend to favor their faithful, their priests, with magics that they can cast. I guess maybe your gods don't work that way.
Of course, ours do give chosen
Oh, okay.
blessings, but there is no such thing as magic that can detect a lie. That would change society as we know it.
You would think, but it's really not that big a deal.
You know, a lot of
we
people
see it all
get
the
away with
time.
lies all the time.
Well, we do use honor-bound oaths.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
We don't, though. We're very strictly anti-oath.
We love oaths, actually.
Probably more than we should.
Some of us.
They're really useful.
We would prefer an oath, but I want you all to be understanding that we are in a difficult position here. After all, it is unknown whether you work with or against Sidon. I want to trust you on your word that you're here against them, that you have arrived, I suppose, just barely after your adversaries have. But that leaves at least one more issue, even if we assume the truthfulness of your words. If you say the truth, and this Promethean fire can give godhood to people, you seek to remove it from the sunken kingdom. Is that it?
Yes.
We seek to keep it safe from Sidon and his forces, and hope to use it to elevate another god to balance Sidon on the dry land.
I see.
Here's what happened. We tried to make an oath so that Sidon could not break it, so that he would promise never to hurt anyone up where we come from. Somehow he subverted the oath, and he is hurting people. And the only way we know how to stop him is this Promethean fire. And make no mistake, when he is finished ravaging those who will not bend to his will on the surface, he will come for you and your people. And the only way that we know to stop that from happening is the Promethean fire. We don't seek to take anything away from your people. We want people to be able to choose who to follow. But
And also, like, face value, I'm a siren. Old Siren City. Sidon sunk it. Definitely don't like him. Definitely not friends with him.
I see. This is a matter of state, and as such, the entire polis will have to be called. This will be a council of the tribes. The tribe elders will vote on the matter. And I will make the final call, but I cannot act
And how
without
long?
the council.
And how long will that take?
Yeah, is that like a time-intensive kind of thing?
It will take some time to call everyone. I think the seriousness of the nature of topsiders entering the city again and again might put some stream underneath the fins of some of our tribe elders.
You did say... Okay.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. Forgive me.
Ugh. Throw up, just goes out into the water.
I was going to say, do you know if Gaius is going after the fire? Did you tell him the location of it?
I will not disclose this information with you at this time. I apologize. This is born out of a mistrust, and I know that a relationship
Are you,
started on this. It can be difficult, but
are you holding him somewhere? Are you holding him somewhere?
I
Because
will
if you're holding him,
disclose
it
this.
won't keep Sidon from him. He'll once he finds out that Gaius is missing, he'll come here himself.
As
He
I
won't
have
even
said-
have time to put together a council.
As I have said before, I am not going to share more information on Gaius until we have determined the veracity and level of danger that you all have brought.
Your Majesty, what if we swear an oath to answer your questions truthfully, and then you ask them again?
I mean, to be fair, in your little vote, you should probably also include the fact that as soon as we got here, we saved a bunch of your people from getting torn apart.
I do appreciate. Ornaros was like a father to me. And Bernard is coming. does another half-full bow and then comes back up.
Just straight.
The little crab's like, that's what assuaged many people of their fears about you. I suggest that you swear the oath before the council, visible to all, audible to all, so that they may observe you and understand the veracity of your statements. Thank you for your time, Light of Thylea. There is preparation that needs to be done. You will be guests in the palace. Please do know, however, that you will be under watch until the time of the council meeting. You will be treated as honored guests. Anything that you need will be given to you, but you are not free to move through the city. This is, again, yes, a sign of mistrust, but please know that if I did not trust you in this very moment, you would be fed to the crevice. Thank you for your time.
What's in the crevice? Just cut it. No, that's okay.
Can it?
As with that, Ornaros kind of starts swimming towards you guys. Later. For now, I suggest that you play along. He swims as you guys are guided, and you see more of these mother-of-pearl-clad, armored merfolk swimming at your side. You're ultimately led into what seems to be a very central spot within the palace itself. And in fact, there seems to be a gate that is opened, and you guys are all led in. However, the accommodations within are not that of a prison, but relatively comfortable. You can see that they're kelp pillows, so to speak. There seem to be different kinds of nettings that are made that probably keep you in place as you sleep, and so on. Little things of comfort all throughout.
What's the leader guy's name? I don't remember. Not the king, but the
Ornaros?
one with the crab. Yeah, okay. Ornaros, quick question.
Of course.
So I couldn't help but notice that a lot of the iconography of the city has been vandalized.
It has been like this for a long time, yes.
So that wasn't you guys? It was already like that?
I'm unsure of your question. No, I did not destroy the statues of the people that lived on dry land in this city. No.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if sirens are like a yay or a nay in the sunken city.
He looks you up and down as you say that. I don't feel any particular way towards you. You are odd looking. Your fins are...
All right,
very
cool,
good at
awesome. Thank
swimming,
you.
I suppose.
Thank you.
No. I guess you don't want to converse. I will leave you to it then. You will be within this area. Please do not try to escape. This will be seen as an offensive act and we will have to hunt you down.
Not going anywhere.
Don't
gonna
want to be
take his
fed to a
hand.
crevice.
He kind of gives you a little bit of a
Ouch.
look. It's the shielded hand too, so you're kind of like grabbing like in between him and his shield, and it's just like holding it. It's like,
Yeah, it was awkward. She like grabbed the shield, and then she like noticed that was aggressive, and she like kind of like leaned on it. I just wanted to mention that I know you can't tell me. I'm sorry. Is this invading your personal
it's
space?
very close. Yes.
Okay,
You can ask
I'm
me
sorry.
without being on. Oh, thank you.
No.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm not a hugger.
Okay. I know you can't tell us if Gaius is here, but I cannot be more sincere when I tell you that it is imperative that we get to this artifact, whatever it is, before he does. Your people are in the gravest danger, and please do not make me responsible for another people being killed. I don't think I can take that on my conscience, so if you could just please make sure that Gaius is not currently going to the Primordial.
Listen. I just like this. Listen. I cannot tell you specifics, but if you are concerned about Gaius getting to this artifact you speak of, rest assured that we have dealt with the threat. And
Oh, good.
that will not. It's not a concern you have to worry.
But if you know where this thing is, you should send guards to protect it. In case Gaius and the people that came with him, in case they send more people.
This is
Please.
complicated.
Sir Bernaros, I know it's strange for us topsiders to talk about other gods, considering all the new information I'm sure you've all received, but I can't stress this enough as someone who is related to the topsider gods. Because of
He looks
we've
between
lost-
Estrella and you, and you can definitely tell he's like trying to see similarities and features and kind of doesn't.
Well, not the Titans, but
There are more gods.
those that were opposed to Sidon, they're gone. My family's gone
Sidon killed them.
because of it. We'll stretch the truth a little there, but it's okay. One way or another, yes. This is
sorry for your loss.
incredibly. I appreciate it, but this is. I hope, if nothing else, it explains the stress that we are under, the panic we have, the fact that this may take days, and
I
to think that
can
it could
only
happen.
tell you that you will not have to worry about Gaius and his companions. You're under our protection. The city is protected by the Eight. You're safe here.
It's a small assurance, but okay.
The Sunken Kingdom might be small compared to the dry land. We are powerful, and we have the Eight on our side. We're wondering if there were other gods. They also lived in temples. Tell me of your parents. They were both gods then.
Oh.
Were you born in a temple and you could not leave? He looks towards Estrella. Was that how it was for you? Or did you leave your temples?
Oh,
Straight naked.
right. Well, my family tree is very lots of branches
is
is the wrong word.
Tree.
Mm-hmm. You know
Coral?
kelp. You know
Yes.
you right coral. Ah,
Yes.
yes, that is what we have
Oh, yes, of course.
on that. But call it tree.
But how does it grow without the water supporting it?
I mean, I guess technically water is still supporting it, just not literally.
Chlorophyll.
What?
Photosynthesis. Right?
What?
I know.
He just
I
starts
know.
flooding dead.
We have so much to say.
Get your science sock out of here! String them up! Burn them! Wait, we can't burn people underwater. Anyway.
So my grandfather, he sucks. He's the worst.
We have
But my-
established this, yes.
Great grandmother, right, is well sort of a tree, right? The tree of life.
You
Yes, and she is great. I'm pretty sure. I'm 98% sure she's great.
So your god came from kelp, and then I am very confused by how your gods work. It seems very
Me too.
complicated.
I know.
I do have a question. Can your gods not leave their temples?
No, of course not. It is where their power resides. This is why I'm asking you. How did you leave your temples?
Oh. Our gods can go wherever they want.
Yeah. They can walk through the city. They can go wherever they want. Can you give us like one of your gods' names? Just kind of curious.
Well, personally, I worship the Fish Queen, of course. Queen of Odyssey.
Does she have
Does she have a name?
like a real name, or not like a
It is a
title?
real name.
Like
It is. Her name is the Fish Queen.
Her name is just the Fish Queen.
No, she sounds magnificent, and that is a fantastic name.
what about some
I agree.
other ones?
Your gods have chosen names, nicknames for themselves.
Well, I mean,
They
they have like actual names.
Yeah.
These are actual names. Your
So, like for example, there was the god Mitros, right? But she was also the goddess of wisdom, right? So we called her the goddess of wisdom, but
course,
her real name was Mitros.
No, I mean, they have real names. There is the Skyfather, and he is the ruler of the Pantheon. He is also a great warrior. I mean, he's the god that they will also worship before going to battle, of course.
So he can leave the temple to go to battle.
No, that's that we do this. That is what faith is. If he had to fight our battles, we wouldn't have to prove ourselves. Your gods fight your battles for you.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like not for us,
Yes.
but they also like participate.
Yeah. They usually create problems for us,
Oh,
and then we solve them.
Your gods sound very childish.
Selfish
Oh.
also too.
Yeah, that's
Those are a
Literally-
couple words, yep.
I am surprised by how irreverent you all are. It seems that you don't truly worship your gods.
Oh, I don't worship any of the gods.
You're an apostate.
I don't know if that's an insult or not.
I just don't understand. Help me. I do not like to judge people. I understand that people are people, and in their wisdom, the gods give us free will. They can turn away from us, but then they're without the aid of the gods. Why would you do this? I
Well-
don't understand why you would not worship any. It makes no sense. The gods are real. You can see them. You have, it sounds, met them.
We're friends with one.
One
A
is
former
not
one.
simply friends with a god. That would imply an equal standing. That is not how any of this works.
Well,
You would
more or
technically-
less.
drink with them and stuff.
They used to be mortal.
Technically, she died for me
I don't.
at one point.
What?
Yeah.
Your gods are very different than our gods. That is all I can tell you.
What do you
Honestly,
gods look
that's
like?
fair.
Well, they do look like us, I suppose, but grander. It is how they choose to manifest for us so we can comprehend them, of course. That is why the temples must be protected. It is the connection we have to them. That's why I was
Take us
wondering
to
how you
these
guys
gods.
left your temples.
Have you ever seen what's anchoring them to their temples? Is there a source that?
Stone?
Have you ever been in the temple?
Of course.
So they want you to fight for them, but they won't give you magic?
No. You need to fight for yourself. Belief is not something that can be paid for. There are chosen. There are a few honored heroes and champions of the gods that will receive boons and blessings, yes, but that you spoke of, being able to cast magic like the Oceanids, that is not. No.
Well, I mean, technically, most of our magic doesn't even come from our gods. Yanni's magic is just because he reads a lot of books.
What is a book?
It's a collection
Like a
of
story,
knowledge.
but
They,
in physical form.
they wouldn't work down here because they can't withstand water.
Oh, written stories.
Do you
like
guys have
tablets.
like? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For us, most of our stories are kept by orators and bards.
Right. Books are like if you took the stories that the orators told and wrote them down.
We do that too, but it is a very slow process. It makes more sense to
Yes.
simply carry the knowledge from one.
See, it's a whole lot easier to write things down on what we call paper, but that's the stuff that can't stand up to the water.
Why not?
So it wouldn't
What is
work for you
paper?
guys.
Well,
It's made out of trees.
yeah.
No,
We've gone
not the
full
trees
circle.
again. Not the
Yeah.
trees
We've gone
again.
full circle here. We've gone full circle.
Yeah, this is
So
confusing.
wait,
If
they're
you
made
took
out of Estrella's
coral-
people.
If you took
Yeah.
coral and you cut it really, really thin.
Why would you do
It's
that?
nothing
It would
like coral.
take hundreds, if not
shouldn't.
thousands of years to
You're right,
regrow the
this
coral
is
again.
Barbaric. It's bad practice. Oof.
I wonder
Yeah.
if this would actually be a more effective way for them to write.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably
I mean,
like
anyways-
kelp, but even
fibers.
that is like weird because
Yeah.
technically paper is like you grind it to a mush.
Yeah,
and
you
right, yeah.
harden it. Yeah.
And
Like vellum.
But
Vellum would
anyways-
probably be the best one. Like taking something like dolphin skin and then like carving into it. I don't know why I chose dolphin. This happens.
Your
because they're
gods,
secretly
do
evil.
do your gods have magic?
Nothing good can exist in your world. That's why.
They do, of course. They're divine.
Okay.
Right. So we have clerics who
So do we.
get they
Priests.
they get their magic from the divinity of the gods that they worship.
No, our priests
Like
simply
a-
worship and give sacrifice to praise of the gods. Hold the rituals.
Right. They worship our gods, and in return, our gods give them a piece of their divinity so that
Oh,
they
for
can.
us, we only
use
simply get
magic.
chosen, and that does not happen every generation.
Well, I mean, it's not really their divinity. It's more like just power. If they gave them their divinity, then they would also be gods. That's very complicated.
I don't know. This entire this entire conversation feels like a puzzle by the vile trickster.
What do you have to sacrifice to your gods?
Depends. I mean, it's usually rites that we undergo. Let's say, for example, the Ghost Lord will want to have the bones of the dead.
The Ghost Lord?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who got that.
Voldemort.
You don't have
Yeah.
a god of the dead where you're from. I suppose
Oh, we
Sidon does
do.
everything.
No.
Well, she's one of the bad ones, technically.
Yeah,
And she's locked up.
she's not that.
I'm sorry. So she is in her temple and cannot leave.
No, she's just trapped in a prison kind of dealio.
You have a prison
well,
for your gods?
Hold on. We don't. Somebody else does. What happens down here if somebody breaks an oath?
They usually are transformed. Some of them
Okay.
turn into people with octopus lower halves. Others become sharks or monstrosities that are irrecognizable.
Yeah, okay. That part also kind of happens on the dry land.
Mhm. But
Yes.
some
From the
oaths.
same source as the Oceanids get their power from the dark magic. And you very
Okay.
much gather, all of you guys, after all of this conversation, magic just works differently here. Like, to them, Oceanids, like the innate casting abilities and that kind of stuff, is kind of looked upon as dark, ritualistic, and maybe something that, because you can't just get it from the gods, right? Because you can't study magic very easily, things like wizards probably don't really exist down here.
Right. So that part happens, but sometimes our gods also make oaths.
Why would your
and then-
gods stoop to the level of a mortal to make an oath?
Well, they used to be mortal.
Why would any of us really make an oath,
Your gods were
honestly?
mortal? How? What?
Some of them were, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of
That's-
them.
That's the difference between the gods and the titans. The gods used to be mortal. The titans never were.
Well, they created the above.
But when a god breaks an oath, they go to a different place where they're basically imprisoned.
For the rest of forever,
Free to jail.
as far as we can tell.
Could we meet your gods? Is that on the agenda for the next few days?
It depends on what you share with the council and how you persuade them. You will have to convince the tribe elders to allow you in your journey, your quest. I'm sorry, I just... Gaius and the
But it's a
others
lot to
didn't-
take in. I get it.
I just...
We taught you about trees and photosynthesis.
Please stop it.
I know you can't tell us if Gaius is here or not. But can you tell us what he told you all?
Make
Why
me a
he
persuasion
was
check.
here? Do I get advantage from my normal advantage thing?
He
Guidance.
is a humanoid technique.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
24.
I should not
Oh.
be telling you this. Yeah, go and roll your d4. Should
27.
not be telling you this. Listen, I cannot tell you what happened to Gaius, so please do not ask me anymore. He simply said that Sidon, the true god of Thylea, had come to reclaim something he had left. This Promethean fire, as you called it. And he demanded that we help him, or else he would destroy the city, as Sidon had done before.
Right, I mean, doesn't that sound evil to you? We didn't do that. We were like, hey, do you want to be friends? We could help you. We want to save your people. That's
Right. I think
Right.
what Pontus is worried about is that you are a second group sent under the cloak of subterfuge. First you try to demand, and then you ask nicely.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
I mean, for what it's worth, we're not sent by anybody. We're here on our own, and yeah, I get it.
Well, listen, if you have Gaius somewhere, right, and you're wondering if we are friends with him, why don't you just let us kill him? And then you'll know.
Bring that up to the council, all right? And
Oh.
the oath will go a long way, sure.
Okay.
For Norris, I have an unrelated question.
Yeah,
Are there any
Please.
pockets of air trapped down here where it's like dry?
Some places like this exist, yes. Cursed places.
We're gonna get so pruny.
Oh, we already are. It's more about could I get access to one, like, at some point? All of us, actually? Because I have one of these
Oh.
books in my bag, and I need access to it, but I can't take it out here in the water.
See, I will bring this up with the king.
Okay, thanks.
Oh yeah, because
Thank
otherwise
you.
we're gonna drown.
Yeah.
Unless you have
Yeah,
a way
you
for
can
it to
always
breathe
cast
underwater.
breathe water again before you take the long rest, and then it lasts for you.
I didn't
take
prepare it.
rests.
I ritual cast it. That was
Oops.
Yeah,
I did not
we
think
should
ahead.
probably also mention that we can't normally breathe underwater.
Right. You
This
Yeah,
is also magic.
that's
So
why I
you
need
cannot
access to
simply
my
breathe
book.
both.
No.
Also, some of us need the ability to actually speak in order to use our magic,
Let's see. Good to know.
rather than use this.
Right.
Is that right?
Well, I mean, we're talking to him out loud.
Oh, we are? I thought we were
Yeah.
talking in our heads.
No.
Oh.
You can't push the water through your vocal cords. It does make a sound.
I love that. Okay. I feel better now.
Yeah, you've been talking this entire time was out loud.
Anything you've said, all in your head.
Oh, I will say in my head then to the rest of the group, if we sleep, I can just right back to the top.
If Tyler's spell wore off, so did that. They had the same duration. So you
No,
can't talk to all
breathe,
of us at
breathe
once
water
anymore.
is
No,
24
no,
hours.
she could. No,
The
she's saying
telepathic bond.
Which
I thought that was 8 hours.
No, it is 8 hours. Rary's telepathic bond is 8 hours.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I thought it
never mind.
was.
I thought it was only an hour.
For sure.
I'll check.
I can control water for 10 minutes at a time.
You can also just cast water walking on us, and we'll just.
No, I
Jet.
didn't prepare it.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Nope, it's an hour.
It's just.
Oh, it's only an hour?
Aw.
Interesting. I thought it was 8 hours.
Wait, water breathing?
No, our
No.
telepathic thing.
Telepathic
You are
bond.
all dead.
I was gonna say.
So you can't broadcast. You can only use the ring to talk to each of us one at a time.
Right, we can still cast message to each other because of the rings, but that's about it.
I said that to Yanni then.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Checking on something really quick for you guys' benefit as well. Hold up.
I mean, I can technically just cast Alter Self as much as I want. So you guys would drown. I would be fine.
Wait a minute.
Thank
Hold
goodness.
on.
So you could technically speaking, you could use control water to part the water in a cube, we'll say, that Yanni can exist in to take out his book temporarily.
Oh, that's interesting.
But how long does control water last?
The
minutes.
question that I will not be answering tonight, so don't even go there, is what happens when you part the water with a vacuum in there. You know, no, that's magic. That's magic. Don't worry about it.
Because Yanni technically needs, what, 10 minutes to cast?
I have to. It's 10 minutes, yeah, and I can cast it several times.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna get into physics, every time somebody teleports, the atmosphere coming back
Vacuum
in would create a
would
thunderclap that would
infl-
level
yeah.
buildings for miles
Yeah.
around.
Titan,
So-
Titan. Anyway, so bad.
I've got control winds, updraft, downdraft, gusts.
Dang.
Listen,
Jason,
yeah.
why so gust? With it.
Why so
Why so gusty?
Not this.
Oh, I also
Current
can bring
Bison
us
month?
immediately back to Mitros, by the way. With Word of Recall.
Oh.
Should we need that?
Can we also just teleport as
Straight
well?
up.
Yeah.
You are no longer
boy.
a priestess of Sidon. That temple is a temple dedicated to Sidon.
Oh.
No longer be able to. And you absolutely would know that. However, Yanni does have some other stuff that he can do. So it's not like you guys are without teleporting capabilities.
Yeah.
I just want to put it into perspective. So you might want to
Yeah.
keep onto those spell slots for the control water spell. So that Yanni has enough time to ritual cast something like teleportation circle on dry land.
That's- We'll just have to Word of Recall somewhere else when we get back.
You'll have to make a new temple.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
a Temple of Lyra after I become a god.
Well, I don't know about that. At this point, Bornaris has said his goodbyes as you guys just started to talk amongst each other. And on his way out, you definitely overheard him saying, like, he will be back when it is time for the council meeting. You hear a heavy metal gate close and get locked. And you guys are in nice but very not free accommodations. Is there anything that you guys want to say or do before the meeting?
I think I spend most of my time trying to figure out how you're supposed to sit down underwater.
You just float, man. Just float.
Whereas Yanni's just like this floating around. And he's sitting there thinking to himself, I can't believe I was such an idiot. I didn't think to actually prepare to breathe water. My God. How was I so distracted?
Which one is
Lyra's just doing like corkscrews through the room because she can't figure out how to stabilize.
I have two things. The first one, just letting you know, I spent 7 sorcery points to get myself a level 6
Okay.
spell slot back, just so you know. And then my other thing is I just wanted to talk to everybody as Argenti. So I think I figured it out. You know, I have a hunch as to why their gods are probably bound to the temples, and I don't think it bodes well for us getting the Promethean fire. I think they're using it.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
Oh, I just assumed they were fake.
And if I mean they can't leave their temples, and if they're using it, they're not going to give it to us.
I don't think they're gods like we
Right.
understand gods.
Right.
That's kind of the impression that I got. They're more like Daphne gods than actual gods.
Thank God you said it because I was not thinking it. You know, I think we were all thinking it, but
No,
So
I was
definitely-
thinking they were the guardians
oh,
of the temples.
I would
mean,
completely different.
oh,
the
it doesn't Thylea have more children? Did we ever figure out who they were?
That was
Just
that was
so
going to be
confused.
my bet. I was going to say that they were Thylea children.
That's
other
what I was
ones.
thinking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, water high five.
You guys
Maybe
push
like
each
when
other away.
Sidon like cursed the city, like he cursed those gods to be in the city forever.
I have never heard
Oh,
of these gods, and I don't think Sidon would tolerate gods even under the water, especially under the water. This is his domain.
But if
But
they can't
surely we know
leave,
that.
like like that small temple, right? I mean, well, really, I don't know.
But
I
why
guess
hasn't he
uh,
made all of the people here worship him and sacrifice to him? Isn't that
Also-
strange?
if they were here before, I would assume that they would be sirens, and it seems like sirens just not a thing that they
Mm.
really.
I think they might be like Thylea's children, right? And we know that they can look. I mean, gods can look like anyone, right? I mean, we've seen them, look like anyone really.
You mean
So
like
you think-
not like dragons, like people?
Oh,
You
No,
think these
I-
are like the lost?
the other
Titans.
kids?
Yeah, the
other
other
Titans?
kids. That's my bet, but we will see.
Interesting.
That was also my bet, Yanni. High five.
Oh,
Yeah, I suppose that could be true, but they would still have the powers of a Titan.
Doesn't make sense by all accounts. For sure.
Yeah.
It does say that they can bless people, right? So
Right.
Unless Sidon Luteria. No, why would they do that? They would just kill them.
but you can't really kill a god, right? I mean, we know that, right? When
Well, I think we're hoping that gods can still kill other gods. I think we're hoping that is still the thing.
Hmm.
guess we'll see. But if they can't, right, keeping them in one place would be a pretty good way to contain the situation.
David,
Hi.
I know there was not a lot of information about the city of the Siren, because obviously it's been sunken for a long time. Would there have been anything? Yeah, stories passed down, bedtime stories, fairy tales that the elders told people relating to any sort of deities of the Sirens?
No,
Remember when I cast Legend Lore?
he did.
Remember?
You mean when we
Remember?
saw your grandfather sink the city?
Not now.
It's already
you lied
salty.
about
This
it?
is a salt ocean.
We did. We're regressing. It's okay. But no, nothing then, huh? No gods then.
What do you remember seeing during the legend lore? What do your notes tell you?
Well,
I mean, it was
I don't-
mainly just the destruction part that we saw.
Yeah.
Ooh, which I guess we should also be concerned about whatever that actually sunk the city. We should probably be
You mean
concerned about
Thylea?
that. Yeah,
The actual Scylla?
the actual
There's
Scylla.
only one Scylla, and it is this Scylla, okay? Like,
The dragon kind of gets scritches.
It's
they
okay.
kill the other Scylla so that there can only be one Scylla.
To be fair, every time I read the Odyssey, I called it Scylla instead of Scylla, so I don't relate the two. But that might
You
still
had
be
to read that more than once? Ugh.
twice, actually. Yeah.
Of 8 siblings? I don't know. That sounds like a lot of siblings to leave alive under the water. I don't know.
I mean, I do think Yanni's, like, theory is also pretty good, right? Maybe they're just using the fire to be pretend gods, right? But I jumped to other children first. I think they're both valid theories, but
Also, I
Think
feel like if they were Titans, they would have cooler names than the Fish Queen or the Death Ghost or whatever the hell he was called.
Well, listen, right? Dragons came and pretended to be gods. Maybe this is the same thing. These beings
Well,
are just powerful.
They
I don't
didn't really
mean that-
pretend. They were actually
Happening.
gods. We
I
should
can-
probably. They were gods.
Were they?
they
Yeah.
attained godhood. Yeah.
Okay, they were. Absolutely, they were. You're absolutely right. They were. Of course, they were.
Temporary
they were.
gods.
But I
Temporary.
just
On
meant
loan.
they were dragons first, right?
Right,
And then,
right.
then they were like, oh, we're the gods. They made up that word, because Titans were the only gods before that. And they made up the word god, but really it was dragon, right? So maybe. Guys, I cannot keep dancing around this shit, okay? It sucks. It's traumatic. We all have shit, okay? I'm sorry. We have to figure this out. I'm sorry, Daphne. I'm sorry, Lyra. I'm sorry my family sucks. Some of my family is cool though. Like Thylea's great, right? Kentimane, not so great. Most of them suck.
What if they're all dragon turtles? How awesome would that be, right? And they're actually just 8 dragon turtles that are pretending to be gods.
What's a dragon turtle?
It's like a lesser dragon, right? It's but it's kind of like a weird like aquatic thing. I read about it when I was like looking at dragons and everything, but it doesn't have wings. It's just, think about it as a really, really huge turtle.
So not a dragon at all.
That's
But
magnificent.
they call it a dragon turtle. So like when you like look up, get books from the library, and you're like, oh, I want to know about dragons. Sometimes they give you a book on dragon turtles, and you're like, this is not a dragon at all, right? It's just an angry tortoise, really
Right.
big angry tortoise.
Mm-hmm.
So we think the 8 gods are turtles?
No, she hopes they are.
I mean that would be pretty.
I don't think any of us think they are.
No. I mean, there are. I think they're water dragons. No.
I mean, Sila's doing just fine underwater here, so.
All right. 1 could be Titan spawn. 2 could be adjacent gods. God adjacent in some way. Dragon, turtle, whatever. I don't know.
Daphne god.
Or they could be
Yeah.
sirens. They could even be ancient sirens. Maybe when the city
Right.
was sinking, maybe a handful
Found a way to
absorbed
tap
it,
into
yeah.
the fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering that.
Yeah, I didn't even really.
But why would they relegate themselves to down here and never leave?
Sounds like they just can't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were saying. I bet they just could not leave. They are stuck in
All
their
right, if they
temples.
can't leave, that sounds like Sidon fuckery.
It does.
Or
Maybe they can't leave
Or
because
Luteria fuckery.
it's what's keeping them alive, not because of Sidon.
That's true. That is also true. Maybe
Maybe
they just
like-
want to protect the city.
Maybe they
or-
can't breathe underwater? No, but they have
Bad-
magic. Why would
bad
they-
situation. Maybe if you use the Promethean fire, you have to stay with the Promethean fire, which would suck. That would completely ruin this entire plan.
All
I mean,
right.
Just build it into
What
your
if
crown.
Sidon
around
cannot
with it.
kill his own siblings? What if he can't? Right? And so he created this kingdom, underwater, right? sunk your people and killed them so that he could trap his siblings, right? Because he can't kill them, so he created this whole fantasy underwater. No, maybe.
Well, I think
Yeah.
the reason he sunk it was because he couldn't destroy the fire, right?
What? Same difference? What if the Promethean fire is the Titan spawn?
If they're Titans, why couldn't they give their priests magic like Simon?
What if we have to kill?
Well, no, it sounds like they
Yeah.
can give out their
Take
magic.
them.
They just only give it to the chosen.
I don't think any one of us really wants to kill the gods here. I mean, I could be speaking for myself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
say a
wasn't
little
really.
louder.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone really wants to do
Alright,
that.
Again, we're just talking here. All right, some things are going to be good ideas, some things are going to be bad ideas. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah, killing the siren gods that we just learned about, not really on my to-do list.
Yeah, me either.
Bruce says like
It was a good idea, though, Estrella. It was a
Only in
wonderful idea.
self-defense.
It strokes the glaive.
Killing the
No.
siren gods is not on our to-do list.
Just drawn
And you don't
in the
trust
sand,
me.
like, you know.
Is that what
You
a cast
all
is
don't
called,
trust me. Unbelievable.
You've got a point, honestly, though. I mean,
Well,
Hmm.
one thing's for certain, there's a lot we don't know. And we're probably not really going to know any more until after we take this oath.
The 8 gods being the Promethean fire sounds wild, though. The fact that you thought of that, Estrella, honestly, props.
Thank you,
Like this.
Naira. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah. Please don't cry again, because, like, I don't know how to handle that when I cry, so when I cry, it's even... So we're underwater, so... It's like...
It's like we're swimming in the tears of the Titan.
I can't even tell if you're actually crying because we're already underwater. I'm not crying.
There. I think the vulnerability is beautiful, Estrella.
No, thank you. I mean, I was trying to like get close to him, you know, but he put the shield up, and that was awkward. So I was like, oh. Then I kind of tried to hug him, and that didn't work. So, you know, it's weird because I'm supposed to be very charming, you know. I don't know what happened between like my mother and me. I'm not sure what happened.
It's probably the Minotaur. Probably got in the way.
Well,
Okay.
Now we wait.
Alrighty.
Yep.
With that, as you guys are in your quarters and await the word of the merfolk, we're going to go on a quick break. See you guys here in 5 to 10 minutes and pick it back up with the council meeting where you guys will get to present your best pitch. And oh god, whatever gods you believe in, be. Oh god, this is going to go haywire. Anyway, let's see you guys here
God.
shortly.
of that bus.
And we're back. Hi everyone, welcome back from that little bit of a break. And Ryan, stop it. Spoilers. With that, that's right, now Clancy knows. Now you're in trouble. With that, as we're getting back into it, right before a break, the group had been put into nice but very much locked up places where they can stay. As the king is now rounding up the council of the tribe elders, before which you will make your, well, plight known and hopefully be able to persuade them to aid you in your quest, or things might get a little bit worse. With that, as we're delving back in, hours have passed. 2, almost, to be precise. And it is getting late into the evening as you guys, as Lyra, your mage armor had fallen off. Suddenly, everything is just disappearing for you, Lyra.
My magic.
What, that magic is evil. But as you guys are once again picked up by the guards, you see yourself swimming through. You know, some of you more gallantly, more acrobatically than others. Lyra's just like spinning through the hallways now. You find yourself.
I mean, wings have to make the whole thing difficult.
I know, right? Like either they're really good for it or really bad for it, and I think it's gonna be the latter. But anyway, as you find yourselves now swimming in, once again, this large coral throne room, you can see that there are many onlookers gathered in kind of like the outer edges of the throne room. There's a little bit of murmur, a chatter in the hall as many Nereids and merfolk are chatting with one another. Interestingly enough, though, there don't seem to be any representative of the Oceanids, the more ocean fae type creatures here. You go in and you can see there are Nereid and merfolk, but predominantly merfolk who make up these tribe elders. The pride elders, I don't know if that's a thing there in pride, as they swim forward. I don't know. They swim forward,
Guess.
and King Pontus once again presides upon the coral throne, looking upon everyone. He raises his trident, and as he does, the hall slowly kind of murmurs down. Respected elders, before us we see the members of a group who call themselves the Light of Thylea. They have come from the surface. They claim that they are not associated with the other surface dwellers that have come before them. We have not divulged the fate of Gaius and his companions for reasons that you know, and I remind you all to not divulge these facts to this group. They have agreed to swear an oath, truthfulness, to us, and as such, their word will carry much meaning. Ask wise questions of them, if you want to ensure that they are not spies sent from the supposed god Sidon. You have all been filled in, and he kind of looks at Bornaros, and then at you guys again, and Bornaros looks, casts his eyes. You all have been briefed on what Bornaros has been able to learn from these outsiders. On the people that they call gods, that supposedly they walk outside of their temples and provide Oceanid-style magics to their priests. There's murmur, and people kind of like derisively talking to each other about that. Be that as it may, we want to give them a chance. This is our first contact with the outside world, and we want to ensure that this is going to be something that, if it carries any hope for a future, for trade, for peaceful relationships, we take a first step into that bright new future. Right, and he slams down his trident as it kind of glows, and as it kind of like that glow very quickly just kind of spreads throughout the entire hall. You can see the entire coral just starts to glow with this kind of photoplasmic neon kind of glow all across. You will have the floor, though we expect you to first speak an oath of truthfulness. You will speak the truth to me, to the tribe elders, and to the people of the Sunken Kingdom. The elders will ask you questions. And then we will give you our judgment. The floor is now yours. As you see, a bunch of the merfolk are kind of like swimming over the guards. And interestingly enough, they have what look like... It's interesting. It's like 3/4 rings made out of what look like silver with some gold kind of... It's like carvings that almost look like a bunch of like corals as well. And they kind of motion them for you. But see, one of the merfolk kind of like takes it and it kind of seems to spread out a little bit and then set it across their throat. And then take it off and then hand it over to you.
Yeah, I'll grab one, I guess.
You put one on.
Put it on.
It doesn't like it fits like a choker kind of like around your neck, but it doesn't cut off your pathway. It's not the good kind either. Stop it. But overall, like it just kind of very, very nicely fits around your throat.
Is this the oath, or do I still need to
And as
say
you say
the
that,
oath?
suddenly thaumaturgical magic does throw your voice into the entire throne room now.
Okay,
Oh.
I understand
Hot
now.
mic. Hot mic.
Test.
Yeah, I guess, I swear an oath to be truthful to the council and the king. Whatever questions you may have, I'll answer them honestly.
And you
Yeah.
feel the magic kind of start to take a hold. Do you all swear to this?
I swear.
Yes.
Of course.
I swear.
No, it's way too broad.
The magic fails. The council leaves.
Well,
Be more
Yanni,
specific,
make
Yanni.
suggestions.
I'm not gonna swear that open ended for all time, because then if I accidentally fib about something,
To the best of
Suddenly I'm an
our
oath breaker.
knowledge. Right? We will tell the truth. As we know it.
How about you
In
swear to
this
speak
council.
the truth until the end of this meeting?
that I will do.
Yeah, that one.
I hereby swear that I, Yanni, will answer all questions truthfully, asked by anyone in this space, until the end of this session, meeting, whatever we're calling it.
And then they'll never adjourn it. I'm just kidding.
Well, as soon as he says
Parliamentary
that,
procedure, and they said it was never going to come in handy.
as soon as Yanni says that, Lyra goes, I'm part of this meeting.
With that, the magic takes a hold of all of you. You can see that the tribe elders, all in all, it seems like there's about 12 of them gathered. You see some of them are indeed elder. You see, their fins have kind of just not really become gray or anything like that, but they just lost their luster. It seems like a beige instead of like the very vibrant colors that a lot of the fins and scales that they have had. As they kind of like start to kind of look towards each other and murmur. Well, to begin, Pontus kind of starts off. Are you in league with Gaius and his companion?
No.
Do you support them in their quest?
Even more no.
I do need you to say it. That is part of... You can't just non-committally kind of shake your head back and forth.
He's been speaking.
No, that was more of a joke for Brissa and Daphne, who definitely were like...
Depends on the day, you know. No, what is it?
Oh,
This Troy
I'm
is like,
sorry.
I mean, I
Should
do
I
wanna
make it more
marry him,
clear?
but-
No.
He looks over towards the elders. Finally, this Nereid that does definitely have like what looks like a bunch of braided locks of hair that kind of cascade in the back. He kind of goes forward. You can see what it is, very, very deep, rich, dark color on his skin that has started to kind of fade. You can see that there is definitely kind of like what looks like blotches of lighter skin. It's like ink blots almost like all over his skin as he kind of stands up and starts to float upwards a little bit. He seems to address the council rather than you guys at first. My friends, you know that the tribe of the Seahorse protects the Sunken Kingdom and has done so for generations. And he clings against the stone. We keep this city safe against all outside threats. And I see that's exactly that before us today. Nothing but another threat brought to our city, to our corals, our kelp forests. I say that, if anything, we should make them swear to never come back. There are a couple elder council that kind of nod along. You see a younger looking merfolk. Her hair is just like fiery red and just clasped in a bunch of like what look like silvery clasps all throughout. You can see all of them have like coral or shell motifs all throughout as she kind of like goes up. This is nonsense. You would simply send them away because a first bad impression. These are people that we could make trade with. These are people that could teach us about the surface world. Just because we have not seen land does not mean that more doesn't exist, and they are proof of this. We are keen, and we must learn more, for if we do not, we will remain ignorant, and ignorance breeds hatred. Some things are best left undisturbed. After all, do you want to become the next tribe of the shark? And as the mention of that, many of the rest of the council just starts to kind of murmur. The people, the onlookers, they're starting to kind of shift comfortably and kind of talk. How about we ask them questions instead of holding court? That is why they're here. You're talking past them as if they don't exist. So they can creatively find mistruth. Huh? Be my guest. Thank you. I will take the floor. The tribe of the octopus would like to ask you, what is your purpose in seeking out the Sunken Kingdom?
We were going after the fighter to keep it from the hands of Sidon.
And when you say fire, you mean the Promethean fire?
Yes. I realize you can't have fire down here, right? It wouldn't really work.
You want to keep it away from this supposed god, the Sidon. Why?
Because he intends to do bad things with it. He reigns with terror.
As you say that, you do feel the magic starting to kind of take a hold. It's almost like your skin starts to kind of prickle. And you realize in that moment, you don't know exactly what Sidon's intentions are.
Well, we know he's evil.
Yeah. He does not have the best methods of keeping the peace and the prosperity of the world as a whole. He looks towards himself and himself only.
What makes you say that he does not have the best methods?
I have seen firsthand that he has done many horrible things and killed a lot of people just to get what he wants.
But a god is a god. Gods have a divine insight. They can see beyond what is immediately necessary. They understand the grandeur of the cosmos. Who are you as a mortal to know better than a god?
But we have seen other gods that are not nearly as cruel or, need constant validation that, they are the greatest god or anything. Daphne's lineage, they were nice. They treated people with kindness.
So they cite
Your gods, do your gods kill people just for self-service? Because that's what Sidon does.
that when certain people deserve to be annihilated. Yes.
Do they demand sacrifices of children, of people?
There is some
That is-
talk and chatter, not of children, but of people, yes. If it is
You
that
have
is-
8 gods. Is that right?
I do.
8? And are your people free to worship the god they choose?
It is not so simple. You simply worship. All the gods are the gods, and the Sky Father oversees the entire pantheon. But this is not a questioning of
Imagine-
me.
Imagine if
point.
one of your gods sought to kill the rest, so that they were the only god that could receive worship. That is what Sidon wants. He will accept nothing less.
Your skin crawls just a tingle, just a bit, and you can't quite finish the sentence because he didn't make a move to kill Thylea. Though he does rule by himself now. From all the conversations you had with him, it occurs to you too that it's not the full truth to say that he wants to be the soul god, but he's definitely enjoying being the soul god. As you kind of like alter the statement to that a little bit. If the Sky Father chose that one of the others was to be cast out, I suppose he could do that. This is his position at the head of the pantheon.
But
Sidon
Sidon
then
is
the
not
father.
the head of the... No. He is the child.
Sidon is like if the Fish Queen wanted to become the Sky Father.
And is willing to kill the Sky Father to become. And kill people if they did not worship.
He's a tyrant. He's a brutal tyrant.
You see this old, very scraggly looking merfolk woman kind of raise up. You can see her gray hair is kind of shifting around, kind of like brushes it back, and she goes,
They are apostates. Atheists who are scoffing at the gods that they have on the land. How do you think the Eight would feel about us making deals with these apostates, these atheists, huh? They're willing to, not worship and challenge their own gods because they are too short-sighted to see the benefit of true belief. Should we really help them in this?
Enough! These are not our gods they're speaking of.
Well, they brought up, what if the Fish Queen did something? Then the Fish Queen would do it, and she is a god. And she would get the choice to do so because she is a goddess. Estrella, that is your name, right?
I am.
Some of you have made the statement that you could become gods with this Promethean fire. Is that what you aim to do? Become a goddess so that you can challenge this Sidon who's supposedly this tree father of yours?
What I wanted was for everyone in Thylea to be able to choose who to worship. I don't want to eliminate any gods. In fact, I fought for all gods to have equal power, so that everyone could worship as they chose. That's what I want.
I didn't ask you what you want. I asked you whether you aim to become a goddess yourself.
I would sacrifice my life to give the people of Thylea the choice to worship who they want.
You are still sidestepping. See, this is what you get when you discuss with apostates. Do you want to be a goddess yourself so that you can supplant the other gods? Do you want to be a god? A stray
No.
of the surface world?
No.
And under the effect of the oath, you genuinely say no. It does seem to shut this woman up. She kind of like,
No.
kind of grumbles to herself and sinks back to her spot. The kind of tired looking Reed once again goes,
Suppose that you could get this Promethean fire. You want to bring it to the surface world, but it clearly belongs to the Sunken Kingdom. Why should we help you steal from us?
We don't necessarily want to take it from you. We want to keep Sidon's people from it and explore what we might be able to do with it. We can do that here.
So you'd be willing to swear an oath to leave it here?
If we could still use it, if it was.
As long as we have access to use it without restriction, yes, we can leave it here.
But you would put our gods at danger. Look at it from our perspective. It seems that you have already been on some kind of campaign to kill gods, or at least to bargain with, to take away their power. That seems to be the reason that you're here. Take away this Sidon's power, to give the people of your land a choice. We are all representatives of the Eight, through Pantheon. If, and you seem to believe the truth of your words, this Promethean fire can do that, then we would endanger our own gods in doing so.
What if we talked to your Pantheon and got their blessing?
Chatter left and right as people like. The red-haired mermaid with silver clasps goes, I do speak for them, and I say that this would be a good idea. If we are so concerned about them being apostates, about being atheists, maybe they need to learn of our gods, to see the ways of the Eight. Maybe they have been kept from true divinity for so long. Maybe once they get to meet our true gods, they will see the light. They will see what it means to have gods that care about them. So you would subject yourself then to the judgment of the Eight.
Sure.
I will, yeah.
Sure.
You understand that if our gods find you to be lacking, they will smite you. You subject yourself to this.
All I'm going to say is they can certainly try.
Chatter, and there's definitely it's like ruffled fins. As the old crone's like,
Ha! See? They are thinking themselves to be what? God slayers?
Have you ever wondered where the ruins that surround you came from?
chatter. Nobody seems to answer, but you definitely got their attention.
It was a thriving civilization once, above the land. Sidon decided one day the civilization should fall, and so sunk it to the bottom of the sea. If he should decide one day that you should all follow him or die, he will come seeking you. All we ask is to give us a chance to stop that from happening, to save our people, to save your people.
I say for one, you let them speak to the Pantheon. The gods will know best.
They're going to kill them. It's what that little one deserves anyway.
They're guests.
I was just meaning that I will defend myself against anyone, even a god.
A lot of people are looking up towards Pontus, who kind of like uncomfortably shifts a little bit and sets himself back into. We will have to ask you in that case to not bring your weapons to the temple.
Okay.
No, the marshals are like, yo, you motherfuckers.
I will not bring my weapons to the temple.
None of you may.
And if your gods decide to test us in combat, are we doomed to fail then?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Gods and their divine wisdom will see that you will be provided for, I suppose.
If your gods are all powerful, then they shouldn't worry about us having our weapons with us.
I agree. But
Have faith
we
in your
also
gods then.
rise the Sunken Kingdom. Seem to be possession of powerful magic. We will not be the betrayers that led the wolf, that led the shark to the school of fear.
You
What's
know,
a wolf?
5 minutes ago, y'all were talking like we were idiots for thinking we could kill gods, and now you're afraid we're going to do it. So, let's be real here. Why are you worried? Or do you not have faith in your own gods?
Our chatter, it's people definitely reacting to it as well.
Let them, bring them, and let them be killed immediately.
People like Pontus just.
Why don't you come down here and do it yourself if you're going to be like that?
Ah!
And she kind of like starts going, and Pontus just like puts up the trident as there's just a bright flash. All of you guys kind of have to cover your eyes from the flash as he goes, "Enough! Stop berating our guests. To answer your question, we don't know what you can do. Our gods would smite you, and we would lose an opportunity. We will also not put them at risk, and put ourselves at risk. Of course they would survive, and then they would hold us responsible for the blasphemy, bringing apostates into their temple to attack them. It's the truth. I don't know how you do court on the surface world, Queen Brissa, but your friend seems to be quite ill-mouthed. Suggest that you keep them in check better in the future. For the rest of my court, I must also say that I am unimpressed with the way that you have been behaving. None of you would have spoken like this before my Queen Mother, and I'm ashamed that the first impression that these topsiders have is of this behavior. They have spoken under oath, expressed that they are not aligned with Gaius, Sidon. They oppose this imposter king, this god of the surface world. To not heed their word would be just as unwise as leading them to our gods with weapons. So I say we compromise this day. Trust them without being fools. Let them speak to our gods, and let our gods decide their fate. I put this to a judgment. Breeze to you. I put this to a judgment to the council.
Yeah, no!
The old crone immediately hags. Others go yes, 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 no, no, yes, 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 no, 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 yes, as one by one they're being tallied up. Then Nareed, as it comes to his turn, just kind of looks at you guys. It will resolve itself, won't it? Yes. No, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes. And by the end of it, the yes is. Then it is decided by the council that these topsiders will be given a chance to speak to the gods. Topsiders, light of Thylea, who are still guests of the Sunken Kingdom, under the eyes of the Pantheon. and will behave according to our rules and laws. He will cast no magic upon any of the citizens of the kingdom. He will not use any magics within the city until we know the extent of your magic.
We need one little exception there. I have to cast a spell every 24 hours or we can't breathe down here.
He looks to his trusty Bornaros, who's just like kind of nods. Kind of seems like what? Yeah, my king, they cannot breathe both. That is what? Why wouldn't they be able to breathe? I don't know. Things are different there.
Something about trees.
Something about trees.
On the tree.
It must be tree based. Maybe they breathe these trees or something. Very well. Life sustaining magic. Or in your own defense, you use your magic. However, if you attack our gods, you will find our kindness quickly to have evaporated. That is my warning.
I think that's fair.
That's only fair.
Understood.
I do have one question though, just based out of curiosity. Is there a reason that there's no representatives for the other race that lives down here?
And you mean so many? You've caused so many waves down here at this point. This is probably the most overt that's happening. Enough! Quiet down. I believe you're referring to the Oceanids. They are creatures of the Fae. They are not like us. It's magics that are forbidden per our code. And as such, do not receive representation. They are given the right to have land. As such, do have one of the districts of the city. They prefer to keep to their own. They get to make their own laws. But no, they are not part of the Sunken Kingdom. They do not worship the gods.
Ah, apostates just like them.
Any other questions from the council before we cease the meeting? If I may ask. You see this much more timid looking Nereid. She has like this sandy blonde hair, a beautiful green skin as she kind of swims up. None of you intend to become gods?
I have no interest in being a god.
Yeah, that kind of was my plan, kind of.
Yeah.
Same as mine.
So you too want to become gods? And what of you?
There was mention that you have divine blood.
Both of you. But you already said you don't want to become a god. What about you? Is your name Paphne?
Dude, getting roasted left and right and we're underwater. Is it no longer roasted and just boiled?
Yeah.
Like
Just like a submarine.
No, we avoided it this whole
this whole
session.
time.
Oh my god, I'm so glad it's not me anymore. Welcome. Yes. I hand you the crown.
I think, like, as Daphne tries to answer, it's stuck in her throat because she doesn't know. There's this part of her that wants to completely get rid of any sort of ties she has, mostly negative, to Pitor, but there is still that connection there that she's interested in and wants to be a part of because of literally all the other gods. So I think she like goes to answer no, and it just gets stuck as she looks confused. Like, I'm not sure yet. Truth be told, I'm uncomfortable with the thought of anybody really becoming a god, but there's a need right now.
So, tally it up. Honey, Straya, or Gentia, if you have no interest, or indicated out loud, no interest to become gods. Brissa and Lyra, very upfront and clear that you want to become gods. And Daphne, I'll fuck around and find out. Got it.
I think we feel that the only way to save our people may be for us all to become gods. Certainly, if that is not needed, I do not want to be a god. But we feel like that might be the only way to end the tyranny of Sidon.
I really don't want to be a god.
What do you intend to do with your godhood? At least the three of you.
I think the main intent was just sort of a check of Sidon's power, but if it ended up not being enough, I was planning on killing him if it got to that point.
And then? Replace one evil with a worse? Become despots yourself. Unchecked.
I don't think it would be unchecked if there were more than one of us.
Is the goal of having more than one god, is that, that balance is there. I just want to protect my city, my children, my husband, protect my people.
She's got to get her kid back from Sidon too. Took him hostage.
What of you, Pafni?
She didn't correct her.
No, she's not gonna correct her in front of the whole fucking council. This is like, there's already way this being started. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
I'll do it.
Yeah, there is no limit for you.
If she does it again, then I'll correct her.
Oof. Yeah, the truth would come out. I would simply be a god to keep those two in check. Protect my people, but... well... in a sense it would be... security, in a way.
Like a knife.
Oh, she's ashamed. She's not looking at anybody.
It's more like a hammer.
Very well. I am done with my questions.
Thank you. And gathered here before all of the tribes, I reiterate that this group, this Light of Thylea, is given access to the Pantheon to explain their purpose before them. For godly divinity, they will be able to ascertain whether this is a truthful step forward. We will accept the judgment of the gods, for it is the right judgment. As a council, we have decided. As a king, I approve. With this, our council meeting is adjourned. He slams the siren, slams the siren down. Lyra just gets slams the trident down as all of the kind of bioluminescent glow fades away and the area becomes much darker. The tribe builders kind of split off and start to swim out. A couple of you getting dirty glances. You can see the rest of there's like easily 50, 60 people kind of gathered starting to kind of like approach SCC, but Naru's like, out, go, 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 they are guests. Stop swarming them. This is not how we behave. As a couple of them kind of swim away. The king kind of swims down towards you guys. Says, I apologize for the behavior of my people. They are simply protective. You must know
We're outsiders. It's fair. No harm done.
there is more to it. You see, the gods had chosen a tribe to seek what you seek. The tribe disappeared for years. We thought that they had simply died. Instead, they returned months ago. Changed, altered, cursed. The creatures that you saved Bernaros from, that was them.
Oh,
So,
I assume those are the Oceanids that you were talking about.
you must know that your path might be more perilous and dangerous than you think it is. I was once a young merfolk who believed that he could do anything, swim to the top of the sky. But I see that in you. And I am just wanting to warn you to be careful, overly eager.
Is it in the crevice?
Gives you a long, hard look. Can I tell you the gods will light the way for you. I can warn you to not ascend or leave any of the places in the Second Kingdom, for the gods will know. And you will find yourself, well, not in a good place.
Is there any of the gods that we should avoid? Or, you know, like, should we...
Make me an insight check for a second.
Which god do you hate the most?
Are there any loony ones? 17, not too bad, not too bad.
With a 17, you can tell that you're putting him in like not just between a rock and a hard place, but like he's clearly like a pseudo-religious leader of his people too. So like saying like, oh yeah, this one god sucks ass. He just goes, oh well, you should probably be weary when you approach the Ghost Lord. His wisdom has changed his sight. He sees into death. Sees the souls go to the afterlife. So, he is peculiar and may not answer your questions very directly. So, just be very cognizant and discreet when you speak to the gods. I must also warn you. And he looks directly at Yanni as he says this. I don't know about your gods, but our gods will not look kindly to incivility and speaking rudely.
Yeah, I'm not normally like that.
You might not be the one to be the one that speaks openly.
I try not to be, but I don't do well when there's a lot of silence, and I kind of look meaningfully around at everybody else.
We will make sure that that doesn't happen again. It is fine.
Let's see. Well, it is late. I will retire. You're of course welcome to take a rest before you speak with the gods. Good luck to you.
How far into our 24 hours of water breathing are we at this point?
You have 18 hours left. It actually tells you.
Okay.
Yeah, or I don't know if it tells you guys.
Oh,
but
does
it's
it?
18 hours left.
Yes.
Was it under effect?
See, that's the thing that I actually...
It tells me.
Seconds.
I know, it tells you a
Yeah,
billion
it tells me
seconds.
66,000 seconds.
Yeah, but if we're going
I
to recast it, we should recast it before I sleep.
That's
So I can-
interesting. I get 82,000 seconds.
I'm a heavy breather.
when you took that tumble
There are
and
too many,
hyperventilated,
there are
it
too
took
many
a
hot
couple.
boys around.
I've hyperventilated like 3 times today.
Oh my god. Alrighty. With that, King Pontus swims away from you guys. And Bernaros is kind of like talking to some people on the side as it seems a Nereid has swum past some of the guards that are kind of protecting you guys and starts to approach.
Sentinel attack. No, I'm just kidding.
Psst. You...
Calm down, Tyler.
He's the wallpaper on my computer.
Just for this really quick, we gotta show this to the chat too. So they're not as completely left out of the loop. Let me change that real quick and throw it on there.
Just pop it over Tyler's face. That'll work.
I'm not closing out at this pop out for the audience. I'm just gonna keep that there.
Yep.
Alrighty, so the Nereid that swims up, also very dark skinned, seems to have what looks like interesting water non-soluble inks upon them. Has like with just very delicate fabrics upon his frame. Some fins that run both along on the outside of the arms, between their fingers and their feet, as well as they kind of swim over. Hey. My name is Viron. Well met. Who must be the light of Thylea. I'm sorry, this is kind of awkward. I have to introduce myself to people who just are the talk of town now. So, can I help you with something? And I don't want to be too forward, but you're new here, so you don't know how the gods work. Huh? The pantheon can be difficult to navigate, let's say. You're in over your head. And I have a suggestion that we help each other out before you speak with the gods, so that you have a better first impression, let's say.
What is your suggestion?
First, why do you want to help us?
I can answer both at the same time. You see, many of us have asked the same questions that you have. Where did we come from? Well, the pantheon often suppresses the answers and the questions. I need measure. Some of us like to live comfortable lives. That is where interest comes. See, there is a forbidden shrine, one that does not belong to the gods, that no one is allowed to go to. I personally think this is a travesty for a multitude of reasons. So, instead, what I suggest we do is go, because here is my guess. The place is probably being kept for its riches. Nobody's allowed to go because that way you can keep them to yourself. And our gods are... Skyfather, strike me down if this is not truthful, but they like to know that they're appreciated. So you might want to show up with gifts to present. Truly show your vigor and worship to them. Or at least respect. I kind of looks over to it. You understand that you might be a bit more flexible in your belief system. You catch what I mean.
So you're saying we're in a delicate situation already, and you think we should go somewhere that's forbidden?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there is a way that you could figure something out. You seem to be having a lot of sway over the king. I'm sure maybe saying you want to do some sightseeing of the city would be good, and you already have a guide in mind. Listen, I want to get rich, alright? I'm not going to pretend like this is not one. I like to live comfortably. I like to live with guards in a nice, big place. That takes a lot of coin. I'm guessing this place is full of it. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you want to be rich and use us as scapegoats if you get caught. Oh, they forced me to take them here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
No, I will not
Yanni,
use you as
you can't
scapegoats.
appropriate his accent. It's not okay.
I am simply saying that I would like to have your help. So I can swear an oath that I will not double-cross you. I just kept it by myself, and frankly, I don't want to split with another person. The thing that I would ask you is that you don't tell the priests or anyone at court that we went to the Forbidden Shrine. That's where I got my gold from. As long as you can keep that little secret, we can help each other.
You
is it
remind me of my best friend.
Oh,
You
That's not
want
a
us to keep
compliment.
a secret for you after we just, swore an oath of truth. I don't think we're going to be able to keep secrets. We're usually not good
I mean, I
keeping
have to
secrets.
say, your
But
friend
the
is
truth,
extremely
the truth
smart.
was only
Yeah,
for the
she limited
meeting.
it.
Oh
No doubt.
no, I know, but
Also,
I
I'm
can't
really
see
good at
something like that
keeping
happening
secrets.
You are good. Then I think we could potentially have a business arrangement here, partnership sort.
Okay, I'm really good at keeping secrets, but I gotta be real upfront with you right now.
Yes.
Look,
Okay.
so cute.
What?
So cute.
What?
But we didn't really come here for treasure. And it just seems like it would inconvenience us if it were to go south.
You know, it's understandable. You show up before the gods as you are, and say the things that you say. He also points towards Yanni, and I'm sure it will go over extremely well. You know what? You don't need a guide. You're right. You are absolutely right. You clearly know what you're doing. You keep doing you. You got this. Well, as I mentioned before, my name is Viron. It was very nice to meet you, and I apologize that I've approached you. I would prefer if you didn't bring this up to anyone at the court, because that would be bad for me, and it wouldn't really give you benefits. So, have it.
1 second. Could you just give us one moment? One moment. Do you...
We just group huddle right in front of him.
Yeah. This is take 2 of what we did on the Isle of Amazons, wherever that river. Do you think perhaps they're forbidden to go here because this is where the Promethean fire?
That occurred to me, but I don't
think we should do it. I think it's
trust this guy.
yeah. I think it's a bad idea.
Right. It just seems like 90% bad for very little payoff, even if the Promethean fire happens to be in there.
Mhm.
And this is coming from me, who has done a lot of stuff just because they were hot. Just
true.
because they were hot.
Yeah, super true.
We're in the good graces right now, and if they caught us going into the Forbidden Temple, right? We're just trying to sneak it there, and then they're like, oh, look at that, and they see. I mean, they see the group of the people that obviously don't belong walking into the Forbidden. It could be really awkward, right? So
Sure.
we'll get fed to the crevice.
yeah.
We'd be immediately moten,
Right.
lighted.
I can
You know-
say welcome.
I could take a peek at this place he's talking about, perhaps. That's why I'm wearing the crown, not for the eye. Because,
They did say no magic as well, right?
Yep, did.
did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Oh,
Unless it was to defend ourselves or keep ourselves alive.
I mean, couldn't we just hire him to still give us a tour and information? Nobody else has seemed really that eager.
We could have him give us the lowdown of the gods. I'd be fine with that, but no Forbidden Temple.
I agree with Brissa.
Yeah,
Do we have any money?
that's what I was trying to figure out.
And does our currency matter here?
Do we just pick up
that's true.
seashells? It's like
Gold is gold.
Seashells.
pearls, maybe.
Oh, pearls, actually.
You give him a pearl necklace. Ayo.
I say we ask for the tour, but not the tour of the forbidden place. Does everyone else vote?
Maybe like we still go by
Yes.
the forbidden place, but we don't go in. Like we see the forbidden place.
Lyra,
Yeah, no.
you are not good with temptation. If you know
Yeah.
where it is, keeping you out of there is going to be a challenge.
That is avoid it all around.
But we should know where it's at so we can avoid
So
it.
we can not go there. Exactly. Daphne understands.
I,
All right, how about this? If we do not get the answer from the gods that we are looking for, perhaps we can check this one last place out. In an attempt to save our people, by the way. We are trying to save the entire people. All of the people. Up there.
Yeah.
Up where they walk.
Up where they run.
Up where they run.
I'm
It can
seeing
be a
myself
plan
out.
B then. Yes, I am perfectly fine with it being a plan B.
Looking for a place to say that the entire stream. Thank you.
Just to throw that in there, just to make sure that I didn't like incorrectly state it. What Viron, to kind of like summarize, is offering. Going to this place, he believes that there is a fuck ton of treasure there, so that you can use that treasure to appease the gods as like offerings to them. That's the logic. So that doesn't potentially vibe quite as well with the whole. We'll go first and then we'll come around to that.
Yeah.
So
he wants us
just
to go there
that one point of
first.
logic. Everything else, yeah, no comment
Now wait.
on that.
Did we specifically tell anyone we would not go explore? To see?
They did tell us not to leave certain places in the city.
Yeah. It sounded like we were only going to be permitted to the temples.
Yeah, they covered all their bases real good.
We are very bad at that. Also
Yeah.
on our end, we should really.
look, this guy's here for his own interests. He
Yeah.
couldn't give a shit less about
All
us.
right. Well, sure. So I believe our answer is that we respect the laws of the people here and their requests. And in that spirit, we must decline, unfortunately, though we would love to explore.
What is shaped?
Mm.
Listen, how about if it's you being worried about something, I can figure something out. Speak to them. There are ways around this here. You know the right people say the right things. Things can change. What are you worried about?
Getting caught.
And
And
that's
then
We don't
getting
want to be-
kicked out.
and we won't get.
We don't
caught.
get kicked out.
We're not going to get kicked out for what?
Yes, and also there was talk about turning into a monstrous creature if you break your oath, which is
Or getting thrown
Right.
into
Have
the
you sworn
crevice.
an oath to not go to the Forbidden Shrine?
Like, that's fair. We haven't sworn an oath to not go into the.
How about
The,
I will
the
figure
king
out,
did say don't take anything, though. Otherwise, the gods would know.
I will figure out details
They
to
were
get you guys a
watching us.
pass.
What is that? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't.
Heidi, is that you? I will get things smoothed out. I will find ways that you guys can see the city, and I will so happen to be the guide that takes you. You will be sponsored, and it will be my responsibility. You will be my ward, so to speak. So if anything goes sideways, it will be completely on me. And you don't have to worry. They don't even have guards on the Forbidden Shrine. It's fine.
So if you're going for
Alright, so there's-
treasure, why would you bring us so we could take some of the treasure? Like, what are we bringing to the deal?
I don't know everything that's in the temple shrine. It's listen, it's interesting for people like you, I guess. I've seen depictions of people like you. He points at Lyra. So I guess, I mean, it's important to something. Some people like to go there to try to study it, but they're being told no. And Estrella, with your unasked for role, which I would have asked for, so that's why I'm going to count it. Otherwise, I will not. He's definitely leaving something out. He seems to be kind of squirming around the true danger of the place. Listen, it's just a security for me.
There's one of the 8 gods in there.
No,
So like a
no,
crazy
it's
god.
The Ghost Lord or
Is
whatever
the
he's called.
unspoken ninth god in there?
Yeah.
There is no unspoken ninth god, as far as I know.
The red-headed stepchild god.
No,
The Daphne god.
Why
Who's
are
that?
you all picking on me?
I thought you were Pathne.
She meant
I'm-
Pathne.
I am not.
If you can get the king to tell us that we can go in there, we can go. We'll go in there.
Deal. He holds out a hand.
Oh, that was really easy.
Wow.
I mean, is everyone okay with there? If the king's says we can
Not an
go?
oath,
If I
right?
hear it from his own mouth, yeah.
Yeah. If we hear it from the king's mouth that says we can go explore, this forbidden temple.
Very well. That will be it then.
I shake his hand.
I will see you in the morning then.
We're totally going to make sure that you are, you're not someone pretending to be the king.
Oh, you hurt me. I would never do that.
Well, he can't use magic anyways. That's why he needs us to go with him.
Lyra, you know that to not be a fact. You know that as a nymph, he probably has innate magics.
Normally, nymphs are super convincing and charming. Do not take me for example. But no, Brisa is a good example. She's beautiful and charming. And not awkward, also.
A bit someday.
I will see you in the morning.
Yanni, can you make sure that tomorrow that you get that one spell that can dispel things? Because I totally don't trust this guy.
I
can
always
dispel
have that.
things. Yes, same.
Okay, yeah. Because totally gonna want to say dispel on the king, make sure that he has nothing
I say
you-
we go find the king right now and ask him about all this.
I'm okay with that plan. I'm not really that okay with just meeting the king in the morning and it potentially could be the king and us immediately casting. Because that would probably end well.
Maybe that's fair.
Yeah.
I
We can do-
could prepare a spell that lets me see through illusions,
Ooh.
but even that, I'd still rather just go talk to the king.
Yeah, let's just go talk to him.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Let's be
couldn't give.
Right, because didn't they say we were being watched? I'm pretty
did.
sure they said
Yeah,
that specifically.
I couldn't care the tiniest bit if we rat this dude out. Who, I mean, I have no loyalty to this guy.
Well,
for any
let's
reason.
not immediately throw him under the bus.
We're gonna have to
We
say his
could.
name. We're
You
gonna have to
really-
be like, hey.
Really need a special friend.
Oh, I
She
got
has a special
multiple special
No,
friends.
that's my point. You need a special friend, so that you stop getting all easily flustered by every hot guy that comes around. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think Yanni has a point.
All right. We don't all have to be in a drow, Argenti.
I have taken a vow of chastity for my late husband.
Oh,
but not an oath, right?
No, never.
Australia rubs his back.
Let's go ask the king. What's this?
Yeah,
guy?
yeah. This is just. And I mean, I used to be a street thief, and this is a little too shisty for me. So
Yeah, it's a little sus. It's a little
All right.
sus.
You guys are lucky. The king seems to have been caught with some of the council members as you guys swim over. It seems to be the Nereid and that cranky old woman, merfolk, that was kind of just like. And as they see you approach, they're like,
Keep our minds, not keep our words in mind, King.
kind of swim away. The king turns around. The things that they never tell you about rulership.
That's why I don't want to be a god.
Well, how have you been? I see. Listen, between us, I apologize. I have to represent a certain image to my city. Trust you all. I'm excited for you to have the opportunity to be gods. Thank you for agreeing to this. I cannot stress enough that you must be respectful in this approach.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know,
I'm
it's
gonna-
funny you mention respect because in the 30 minutes that it's been since we just last talked to you, we were propositioned for potentially getting some treasure for the gods when we meet them, but the treasure happened to be in a forbidden temple that people aren't supposed to go into.
Listen, was this... You... No, do not go there. It's deadly. The shrine is cursed. Others have attempted to study it in the past and they died. Anyone who approaches it, anyone who spends time in the shrine, dies. I'm not being dramatic about this. I'm sincerely trying to warn you, so please take my words to heart. If you go to the shrine, you will die. There may or may not be riches there, but it is...
Well, see, I'm less concerned about riches, but potentially they mentioned that there may be, like, some stuff about the city in there.
Stuff about her people's history.
Incorrect, but I don't think that knowledge will be worth it. Listen, the Oceanids have attempted to study the place before as well, and they even, with their magic, were not able to overcome the curse that lays upon this place. We have our theories, and the bards can let you in on this if you really are curious, but from what we believe, it is a shrine that was once dedicated to another god. I will be frank with you. I believe that maybe the Sidon was the one that was once worshipped alongside our true gods. So, I don't know if you want to set foot in there. This might not be a thing that you want to venture for. And besides, it's, as we had talked about, this is...
Could we get your permission if we wanted to, though?
We could reclaim it for you.
We'd take your warnings to heart, obviously.
Remove the curse.
So look. Some of my friends are loot goblins. Here's the thing you really
What is a goblin?
The dragon eats treasure. We need treasure. You know, need to feed it.
It's just like a children's story little bad guy thing.
Oh, okay. Like a more.
Sure. I think I know what that is. Those are like those water snake things, right?
Yes. Be mindful of the ones that have glowing eyes, especially when they...
Gotcha. So there's something you should know, though. We told this guy that we would potentially
You keep saying this
be willing
guy.
to do this.
Who is this guy?
His name was Viran, I think.
Immediately, Yanni. Immediately, really.
Yeah, I have no. I want to be
to this guy.
I have no reason to be loyal to him and every reason to play nice with the king. So, but what you should really know is what we told him was we would be willing to go with him if we heard from your mouth that it was okay for that to happen, and he made it sound like that wouldn't be an issue. So I think he's planning on having somebody impersonate you.
Likely, yes. Oceanids have the ability to change their shape into anything. There are laws against this, but Oceanids ignore these laws many a time, and when they are caught, they are put to judgment for it. It's one of the reasons that they're not allowed to be here. It's one of the reasons that we have these, and he has one of the metal chokers around that you guys still have around your necks, by the way.
They're fashionable.
Could you please return these to
Did you
Bornaris
take-
when you have a chance? We do only have a limited number of them.
Oh. Thought they
I
were like so you could keep an eye on
Thought they
it.
were a gift.
Our hospitality is this way, I suppose.
So back to this forbidden shrine. We're not without power in various ways. And we've faced a lot of dangerous things over the last several years. But I'm not asking if we can go now. I want to go talk to your gods and get their blessings to do what we need to do and get all this sorted out. But if everything goes well with that and we want to go specifically to see what we can learn about the history of Lyra's people, would you be okay with that?
I believe that's sound. That's reasonable. Yes.
And if I can't keep my loot goblin friends from stuffing their pockets with stuff, is that a problem?
It could be a problem.
You hear that? Okay. Thank you, Your Highness.
Thank you for your forthrightness. I sincerely appreciate it. No.
So what is it like? Is it like mystic curse death, or like something kills them death?
Both. From what I understand, nobody makes it out of the shrine once they have entered.
Okay, because one of those is easier than the others. So
Yanni,
He did also mention.
you're talking about Lyra, right?
what?
Not me.
Yeah, did I say the wrong name?
No. Sorry, Prisa, what are you saying?
He said that we're gonna have to make offerings to the gods to talk to them. Is that actually true, or is he just trying to say that because trying to?
I mean, it does well to bring an offering to the gods.
What kind of stuff do they like?
It's of art, knowledge, service, most of all.
Service. Okay.
Shit. Sorry.
Lyra?
I'm imagining Lyra pulling up the fucking hair. God,
I gotta do what I gotta do.
How's he gonna say it? God damn.
Hey, sometimes it's the easiest solution.
No,
Face.
no, stop it. Stop it. The disapproving look from Damon is exactly what we all need.
I feel like Yanni would let her do it if that's what needed.
If
Yanni
that's or
doesn't care.
if the option is that or an oath, for sure.
As
Oh,
long
yeah.
as
If
as
it's
long as
that
it
or
just
an
goes
oath, Yanni would absolutely be okay with it.
as long as it just goes fade to black.
Yeah.
We don't
Oh,
do the
yeah,
details.
yeah.
I'm good.
I mean,
No,
I'd like to
there
see
will
at least
suddenly
10
be
minutes of
there
the
will suddenly be a
seduction
little sea
between
urchin that just
David
drops a
and-
rock.
Tyler, personally. 10 minutes. The beginning of the seduction, personally. Chat, chime in.
No.
Do you want to see that?
No, we're not doing a Lariat all over again. We're gonna have Seagate. Oh wait, as that would have.
You want a hard drive?
Oh, we should have made a drinking game in the beginning.
We should.
How many Little Mermaid
Seagate's still in
references?
business?
And also Seagate.
Not
references.
anymore.
They're still around.
That's it. Shit. What was the last thing?
Oh no.
We asked him what the gods liked, and he said service, and then
Maybe even clearing this
Yeah.
temple could be enough for them.
What would be enough for them? Is that to the king or to the group? Sorry.
No, to the king.
Say it again.
Maybe even reclaiming the temple could be enough for them.
That's
Removing the curse.
work, perhaps. I cannot say that I can see into the minds of the gods. Perhaps that is something interesting.
I think we should do it.
I know Yanni told you that we are pretty powerful ourselves and that we've been in a lot of dangerous things. But I feel like there should be a little side note about the fact that some of those dangerous things we kind of thrust ourselves into. So really, you shouldn't be worried about us because we probably would have ended up in this temple one way or the other.
So you're saying you would run around me? And council?
This is not what she was saying. No, she's saying that she's not saying that. We would not do that.
What
No,
she
I was
meant,
just
think-
saying is that we have a way of
You're alright. You
dangerous
came to me,
situations.
You came to me and you spoke honestly and truthfully. I appreciate this. Please,
Yeah.
I will leave it there. We're all very tired. It is very late. So, please. Yes.
Last thing, sorry. We're gonna need access to a dry space, like first thing in the morning, because I need to access my spell to let us breathe the water.
Let's see.
Is there somewhere we can go?
Yes, one of the Oceanites will accommodate you with this. They have magics for this.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So, we will make your accommodations be prepared for this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, this has been a long week. Thank you. And he tiredly swims away. As you guys return towards your spaces that have been reserved to you, you see an Oceanite and it swims away, and she seems to be female presenting, but it's interesting. It's very hard to tell because overall she has a more humanoid appearance that many of the merfolk, has arms, has legs, but instead of hair she seems to have 4 tentacles that kind of come out of the back. She seems to have very long slanted eyes, and everything seems to be kind of just these pools of black and then like very, very, very just intensely blue eyes look at you. She seems to be wearing almost like a crustacean breastplate as she kind of goes past you. So you're the outsiders. I prepared the space for you. Breathable air. It will still be wet. Apologize. It should be dry enough for your purposes. You use parchment, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Fascinating. Do you mind if I could see?
Can you breathe in the air with us?
Of course. You can't?
They
No,
can
that's
breathe
why
both.
That's why I need to cast this spell. It lets us breathe water.
Right. My apologies. It's my first time meeting air breathers. It is fascinating. Well, only air breathers. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, no, it's a little weird for us that way.
You can breathe oxygen,
Oxygen?
air.
Yes.
Sorry. I read
Every
many
NPC
books.
that you expose to the real world dies. It's the most potent weapon in D&D.
Chlorophyll.
She said she already prepared the space, so that we're good.
We would
Yeah,
get
no,
through
air.
so many fights. We would just start listing off like scientific
Hey,
facts
Sidon,
and
gravitational
Black
waves.
hole.
No.
Nebulas.
mathematical equations.
Event
Wait,
horizon.
well, I mean, I don't know.
Viral
Yeah.
meningitis.
Pythagoras.
Medical terminology for
Vaccines.
sure.
No.
Air.
Wait, that's a very
No,
different.
air. Air, you can breathe both water and air.
Yes, I can.
Why do you never go to the surface then?
She kind of, you see her kind of shyly look around and a smile spreads across her face.
Oh, I never said that.
Oh,
I've seen those things made out of the weird material. Wood, that's what you call it, right?
I figured we were talking about trees.
Right, I want to know more about these trees. It is weird. It is like coral, but it must grow much faster and much bigger. That you make ships out of it. That is what they're called,
Right.
right?
It's more that there just used to be a lot more of it, and now there's less of it.
So, you have a ship right now, waiting for you, don't you?
Sorta, yeah.
Kind of.
I won't tell her it's made out of my family member because that's just
Just like, you are made out of tree. I get it.
And that's how you start, like, you know, fish skin books.
We've been in this city for a day and we've regressed their society so much
Or
already.
have you advanced it way beyond what you were supposed to? Remember the Star Trek paradigm?
We broke it.
Topsiders are made out of trees.
Yeah.
they sacrifice their fucking family to build ships. Monsters. I mean, it's not entirely untrue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, just Artis's
The trauma.
grandfather. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's the one who cut her down.
We should kill every member of my family.
Most of
Wait.
them are already dead.
Wait.
Oof.
And as she kind of leads you in, indeed, you see like the wall of water kind of pushing back and forth a little bit as she kind of passes through into the dry space, kind of stepping. This is so weird. It feels so harder to breathe, and it's just only having one direction. It's how do you live like this?
I mean, it's pretty much all we knew until the last, like, you know, half a day.
Oh, fascinating.
I'm
Such
just
different
staring at how pruny my hands are.
And that, she kind of takes your hand and kind of like rubs her fingers over the tips of your fingers. Does your skin react like this? Usually the people that I find are bloated and big.
And dead, right?
So you think I'm
Very.
skinny?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you could probably eat more. What do you eat
So-
on the surface?
Would you be upset if I said fish?
Oh no, we eat fish.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Fish and land animals and plants,
What are plants?
like kelp. But,
yeah,
you know.
like
It's less
kelp,
exciting than I
like
thought it
seaweed and
Oh, you see, eat
Land,
seaweed?
land.
Oh,
I have.
yes.
Now what else? Tell me about your favorite dish from your homeland. And she just goes into question after question like that. Of just like
I feel really
getting-
bad because it's fish. And that's just not exciting for you.
Wait, I have some berries. I'll look in my pack and pull them out.
and they're just kind of it's just like soggy,
Waterlogged.
falling apart. Oh, that does not.
No,
No
no.
offense, it doesn't look very.
Yeah. No, I didn't know they would be like that. Sorry.
It seems like everything on the land reacts very weird to being underwater.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
I forgot I have this because I never use it. I will minor illusion a tiny little tree in my hand.
And her eyes
is it
just
sad
go so
that I
wide.
get super nervous when Tyler goes, oh, I forgot I have this. I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck, what's he going to do? What's he going to do?
I'll just start cycling
Oh,
through
girl.
stuff like trees, berries, boars, centaur.
Wait, what is going? It has 4 legs. 5 legs, and you guys just kind of keep cycling through.
Not this.
Don't we have the horn of Balmetria? Can't we, like, make food with that?
Oh, that.
No, I.
No.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Right?
I think you
Where's the horn at?
Aesop has that now?
No.
No?
No.
Nope.
What is
it
this
was-
horn of Balmitria?
Oh, real cool. It's a dragon horn from a dragon
What
that
is
used
a
to be
dragon?
alive. I minor illusion a dragon. Oh wait,
I mean,
Silas
there
with us.
is a dragon right behind Brissa, to be fair.
Yeah,
I was going
Silas
to
with
ask,
us.
but I didn't. It looked like a sea snake. With
Yeah,
weird
most of them
large
are a lot
fins.
bigger than her. Yeah,
Even
so-
bigger.
Okay. Adult.
This is amazing. The topside seems so fascinating. Such a cute little microcosm of flora and fauna.
Yeah.
What else
You
would
see
be
why
interesting?
we're so concerned about it, why we want to keep it
Of course,
around.
it must be so easily upset. Just a little change could just ruin the entire thing.
Pretty much.
Called an ecosystem.
Indeed. Well, yours would be more like a micro system, huh? It's so small, so little space on the dry land.
I suppose.
I mean, comparatively, yeah.
I don't want your brain to explode, but that's just what's on land. There's a whole nether sea.
What do you mean
Nah,
another
it's-
sea? Is sea below the sea?
Sort of above the sea.
like a sea in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And her eyes just go wide, and you can see her gears are just turning as she's trying to imagine a sea in the sky.
Wait, you're just using this as hyperbole? The sky is the sea to you, then. But I've tried to swim into it, and nothing happens. I couldn't progress. It's just all air. And what are these weird things that everything is blue, but very different than the ocean. It's so bright, and there are these things that fly in it.
The stars.
I fly in it.
I've seen the stars too. There are lights everywhere. Why does it change? Why does your sky, that is what you call it, what does it change from blue to black?
Because
Super
the
good question.
sun-
Really?
sun-
the light source spins around us, and sometimes we can't see it, and it gets dark.
It
Are
is
we at
true,
that point, or
then.
do we still think
I
that,
need to
that
take
the
the
sun?
Thylea back to the college. Yes, the light. It does spin around us, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It means we
pretty
are
sure.
the center of the universe.
and also we're flat. We're completely flat.
I don't think
I'm pretty
that's
sure.
also
No, I'm pretty sure that's still the belief
there,
right
no.
now. I'm
Well,
pretty sure that.
there is disagreement. Some people believe that, the fire in the sky is flat and looking at us, and we're flat against it, but it doesn't make sense when it goes around. We have looked at things. Some people, myself included, believe that it's more complex than that, because we have tried it with long fathom sticks, where we take long strings of kelp, and you know what happens? Especially with magical lights that you hold up, if you try to put them through, you can't see them if you're far enough. It is almost like it is curved, the surface.
That
I
sounds
actually
made up.
think it is. No, I think it is just from what it looks like when you're on the ship, and like you come up on. Well,
Oh, I guess you've never. Have you seen the horizon?
I have. And that is what made me want to conduct my first experiment. Anyway, I shouldn't make this about me. Thank you so much for taking the time. My name is Kaila. I'm very happy that you asked for help. It was nice to have someone from the surface answer so many questions. This is fascinating. It is just so cool.
Then I cast modify memory and I wipe her memory. No.
how long will this dry space last?
This will last until I tell it not to.
Awesome.
Do you see?
Oh,
And she
dang,
kind of points
okay.
out a bunch of things. What's interesting is, do any of you understand Aquan?
No.
What about Primordial?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Argenti, it's weird. It's much more flowy forms. It has some of the ground sigils that you would recognize from primordial runes. Some of the truly old wood druids and the like might use these to cast very powerful enchantments. It seems that this Oceanid used this weird alteration of primordial runes to kind of like keep the water out of this place and create air. Which is another concern that, as Yanni, you had, is like, how is this going to produce more air while we sleep? As you asked that question, she goes, oh, it is also taken care of. Magic. Oh, and please just, tell the guards there's nothing to worry about. We do this all the time. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too concerned.
They are.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
think we're gonna work on that too after we deal with this whole Promethean fire thing.
Work
So
on what?
the
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Why would
You're going to... I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can definitely stay here as long as you want to. And I can maybe exchange knowledge. I mean, you all just practice magic. You're allowed to practice magic on the surface without restrictions. It sounds interesting. Interesting. And your gods allow you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, they even give some people magic directly.
Fascinating. I simply must ask you more questions.
Not all of us.
All right, well, will you be here tomorrow?
We die.
I mean, at least for a little while.
I see. All right, well, I hope I will get to see you again. Maybe you could request another service, and, I could help you with something, and then we could maybe speak more.
Yeah.
Sure. And, you
Fantastic,
can just come by to
Right, I'm not
chat if
stating
we're...
that. You need your sleep. One more favor. I've never seen people like you. She looks at you. Do you mind if I changed into... Just for a moment, I just want to know what it feels like.
I'll make you a deal. You change into me, I'll change into you.
You can do it too? Deal.
I will cast Alter Self and turn myself into her.
And she turns into you as you guys are looking at each other. This is amazing! The only difference is she sounds exactly like you.
Oh.
I'm insecure immediately.
But she doesn't sound exactly like you to you because you've only heard your voice inside your head.
It's like when you hear yourself in a recording and you're like, is that what? No,
Precisely.
that's not what I
Lara
sound
has
like.
that weird dissociative moment there. Yeah. Oh no. All right. Oh no. Goodbye. I can't do Tyler's voice. With that, Kaila says goodbye, and that's Kaila for Damon's sake. The night goes by,
I was close.
and you're not accosted. However,
Oh, that's good because I just cast magic twice when we weren't supposed to.
you spent the evening restless.
I can't sleep. Lara smells like a wet chicken.
I'm still
You
awake.
can smell?
Well, now you can.
We're in the dry space, remember?
A very wet, dry space.
Oh.
You know, one of us has a spell that would get rid of that, Yanni.
Oh, true. Do I?
That's the digitation, maybe.
No, I might have traded it in for one of the others. I don't remember what I traded in.
But each of you
No, I do still have it.
talk and turn. As you dream nightmares. Versa. You watch your child being taken from again, powerless, helpless, impotent to help. Daphne, you watch yourself go in a drunken rage, smacking your mother to the side, ruling over Astoria as a despotic queen. Honey, you remember being weak, little in the streets, but this time goatmen chase you, flinging rocks and shit at you, spitting at you. You try to summon forth magic, but nothing happens, and they sneer down at you. Lyra, you just stand in the middle of a destroyed city. And you see thousands of dead sirens around you. Try to use magic to bring them back, but there's nothing. Try to summon forth the strings of fate, but there's nothing. Estrella. Feel yourself kneeling, and as you look up, you see the familiar throne of Sidon. You see sandals and a long robe. But as you look upwards, it is not Sidon's face, but shall see it as you kiss her feet. sit beside a throne upon a barge, with a collar around your throat, tight, barely allowing you to breathe, adamantine chains tying you. As a manicured hand gently caresses your cheek, like a dog tousles your hair. And with that, we'll leave it for this week's session, as hopefully you wake up the next day and escape this
I
night.
didn't think
Nightmare.
about the fact that we're not in this fucking bubble anymore.
No more bubble, baby.
I thought our rings were supposed to protect us.
Yeah,
Against
but they were
Sidon.
too.
Now it's Schmidon we have to worry about.
Not Schmidon! All right.
No!
With that,
Schmaria!
lots of hot underwater people introduced, Tyler's tempted, and a wonderful kickoff to getting to know the Sunken Kingdom. Welcome, Light of Thylea. And everyone who's watching, we're going to be rating here someone really quick, so stay on for that. And follow us so that you guys get the updates, because we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for your enjoyment. With that, let me check out something else. And we made it through Bear Gate. We made it through Sea Gate. Not a bad session overall. Not a bad session. It came out a little bit less than I expected. You know, Sea Gate did. Bear Gate definitely has run its course. Oh my god. It's a thing. It's a fucking thing. Larian did it. I gotta give a kudos though. Like that is like that's big bear energy, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
Why? I think we can all agree Little Mermaid is still on the table, though, right? Little
Yeah.
Mermaid.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just making sure.
As long as we're underwater, we're part of their world.
I swear to
Yeah.
God.
It's so
Yes.
good though.
Yes, we are.
It's so good.
Yes, we are.
I'm so
So is
excited for you
Daphne.
guys to find out what the deal is with the 8 gods. I'm so excited. And that was, as a GM, that was one of my favorites. Just like seeing you guys kind of try to figure out what's going on. Ugh, the best. I love you guys.
It's Dragon Turtles, right?
Totally.
Maybe that's, I don't know.
Like we shouldn't give
Absolutely.
David ideas like
Dragon
deep-
turtles. Like dragon turtles.
If it was 4, I'd be tempted. And I'd call them Michelangelo, Donatello. All right, with that, we're gonna be rating a wonderful friend of ours, Captain Robert. Fantastic stream as well. Love you guys very
Very great.
much, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.